Good evening and welcome to the Friday Football Phone-In special edition on Thursday this week. International break, boring stuff happening, so we're doing it on Thursday. Everyone gets a nice long weekend. Guys, how we doing? Banana?
Going great. If you're a Liverpool forward, it's going great.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely awful. Fernando Janice is on fraud watch. Screw what you did with Fluminense. He's straight on fraud watch. But Luis Diaz, good job. But I'm sure we'll get into it. So, yeah.
Okay.
So it is.
Bottle,
Hope
how you
everyone
doing?
else is doing well.
I'm doing all right. I think international football is overrated and ass. We need to stop doing it.
Okay, Greg, how you doing, Greg?
You know, the regular soaking stuff. I know you're about to start soaking your stuff on the weekend, so you can go for it.
I don't know what
Little
that.
soaker?
I don't know anything about what we're talking about. And Mordecai, how
yeah,
you doing,
right.
Mordecai? Welcome in.
It's great, man. It's great. Having a great time during this international break.
Okay. And NL, how you doing? Go to
McAllister
analysis.
still played like crap.
Eee.
That's
just
true.
calm down. Just calm down.
Go to analysis. Are you available? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
He's a part timer. He's doing two at a time. Worry about him later.
We'll worry
He'll
about
come
it.
in.
And
He'll interject at the right time.
Rhino just barely joining us. Rhino, welcome in.
What's up? I'm not gonna be here long. I'm just in here listening. I'm at work right now. About to leave.
Okay. All right. Yeah, guys. As always, you're welcome to join Discord. Discord. Join the chat. Today's show is brought to you by D's Nuts, guys.
Wow.
Mr. Beast D's Nuts. Yes, I
Not
got them
sandalwood
on
cologne?
clearance. Not
Oh.
sandalwood cologne this week. I've never had this before. It's made with grass-fed milk.
Oh, my God.
Only 6 ingredients. Hold on. Or 7 ingredients. Grass-fed milk. You can kind of see that there. 7 ingredients. I don't know what that means. Let's see what the ingredients are. Do you guys any guesses for the ingredients?
Xanthan gum.
Milk.
Okay, we have milk. Let's see if milk is one of the ingredients.
Sugar.
Nuts.
Milk
Not on the list?
is
sugar?
yeah, organic milk is on the list.
What about xanthan gum?
Nuts.
Cane sugar is on the list. No
Okay,
xanthan gum.
Fuck. About
I'm gonna say cocoa beans.
Cocoa
Yeah,
butter.
Oh, okay. It's close enough.
Cacao butter. All right, so there's cane sugar, cacao butter, chocolate liqueur.
Oh,
And this is it says.
I remember that.
By the way, I'm just gonna read it. Here we go. Ready? Cane sugar,
Cocoa liquor.
organic cocoa butter, organic chocolate liqueur, organic milk, peanuts, salt, and organic vanilla powder.
I just want to add, Mr. Beast needs to fire whoever came up with the name.
These
What are y'all
nuts?
talking about?
Yeah,
There is
I'm
a
sorry.
thing of.
Wait, that's
These
his company?
Nuts. That's his company.
Yep,
Feast
No,
that's
Nuts.
his company.
I don't know. Yeah, he named it These
Damn.
Nuts.
Hey,
Are y'all
attaboy.
talking about the ingredients to these nuts?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, did you see like the candy?
It's not bad.
He sold like These Nuts candy, and it sold horribly.
I didn't know that was a
I'm
thing.
making a whole bunch of jokes here, but I'm gonna be quiet.
Stuff compared to other things.
Isn't this
All right,
candy
Rhino.
or isn't
Raise
this
the
chocolate?
What's up?
Rhino, before you have to go, anything you want to talk about?
I don't know what there is to talk about.
How about that
Manchester City.
Manchester City
Mhm.
game?
I knew you were gonna say it. I was trying to get around it. I didn't watch the first half because I was asleep, but that second half was pretty good, man. I mean, both teams played well. You know, we definitely could have done better, but nothing we can do about it now. I'm glad to see Palmer's doing well at Chelsea as well. You know, I mean, overall, like I'm happy for Palmer and Sterling. They seem to be doing well over there.
Hold on, Reno. Quick question. Sorry to interject.
No, you're
Is it
good.
stupid? Is it stupid that you kept Foden and got rid of Palmer, who plays in the same position?
I didn't want to get rid of Palmer because he began clutching up for us in moments we needed, and I think it was kind of dumb. But he did one out. There's nothing we can do about it.
Did he want out? Was that the thing?
Mm-hmm. I
Oh,
believe
okay. I
he
didn't know that.
Pep said he wanted out. So
Damn, all right.
And
I think it was a
well,
good decision.
through
for him.
that interview that Pep did, he was like, "We want him to stay, but if the club wants him, we can't force him to, to stay."
Was that
Yeah.
after the Super
So,
Cup? He won it for you guys, and or he scored the goal,
yeah,
and he was like, "It's up to him." Oh, okay, makes sense
yep,
then.
yep.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
if he
It's really
went
up to
that
him.
road, good for him. He's doing better now. So
Don't tell
Yeah,
extreme.
but Pep also
Don't-
lies all the time.
Yeah, don't tell extreme.
Like
Don't
with
tell
Aguero.
extreme, but I think. Yeah, don't tell extreme though, but I think it was such a PR move because all the Foden FC boys would have just started breaking down and crying. So that was my thought process. It didn't seem like a footballing decision.
It's a weird one.
Because
I'm
it doesn't
sure
make
Pep
sense.
knows.
Yeah, it just
I
doesn't
mean,
make sense though. It's such a
that's
big
why
miss.
Pep played him. Pep plays him. Like it wasn't like he wasn't trying to play him at all because we really don't have enough creativity up there. Like the people that we have coming off the bench that are usually like from our academy are not. Most of
I
them
gotta
are
go.
not that great. That's why they
Later,
don't play
Fernand.
that.
Later,
And
bro.
that's why like Palmer was playing. That's how people actually saw how good he was. Like he's been good. Like in the academy, if you watch some of the videos when he was there, he was good. And again, that's why he started most of the games before the other youngsters. It's not necessarily because he was bad. Pep knows how good he is. I'm guessing more than likely he was trying to like
How much should he
take
go
the
for?
attention away from him.
40
45
with
million.
5 in incentives. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a
So
steal.
it's a good deal. Yeah, it's a good deal, but at the same time, man, I don't know. We do need help on the right hand side, but I don't know. It's Pep. You just have to let it go sometimes.
I still don't believe that was a Pep decision. I still don't to this day. Like
I
even
really
if
don't.
nothing,
I don't think it is.
So
I
you're
don't think
saying
it
he
is,
left?
but it
He
is what it
left
is.
because they want Foden to be the golden boy, basically.
yeah, it's easier to put the guy who's more established, who's won a lot of titles, about being on the bench. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's easier to do that, and I think what you've seen this season, especially in that game, Palmer has a better impact on a game in a much more dysfunctional club. Let's be real, in Chelsea, and has actually brought some clarity to the team. I think without him in there, they looked completely lost. They lacked fluidity in the attack, especially in the final third. He links up with the midfield very well. 100%. And I even would go as far to say is this: Conor Gallagher got 10 times better. His impact, besides the eye test, is 10 times better now because of his link up with Cole Palmer, especially when he cuts inside. It allows them to form a sort of higher pivot right there, right around the opponent's 18-yard box. I 100% think it was such a PR move. To this day, I will still say that because I don't hate
You did
Foden.
see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I never hate Foden, but I hate the
Yeah.
debates he gets to with him and Saka because you can tell in that position explicitly he has never branched out. He can play
Yeah.
5 different positions, but is he ever your first option in those
No, he's
positions?
never.
No. And I would even argue to say this: when he came in subbed in for KDB in the UCL final and played centrally, Inter got the upper hand because he couldn't do anything with the help of Rodri in the back, with John Stones,
Yeah.
with everybody pushing. They actually got the advantage after he came into the game. Now you could say it's a lack of. He's been on the team for what, 7 years now, right? Am I sorry, Greg? 17 to 24, right? About 6-7
It's-
years, right?
Maybe like on the actual senior team, like the last 3 years, but he's been around the team. Like he's actually been around the team quite
But
longer.
he's technically won. But he's technically won what, 4 Premier League titles?
Yeah.
So he's been part of a decent amount of squad. I just feel the treatment he gets is because of how he plays. And so far from what I'm seeing, I think if you switch both of them, he does nothing even close to what Palmer's done. And you could say, oh, it's all penalties that he scored. But if you look at the actual games that Chelsea plays, he's done so much for that team. And so I don't think it was a footballing decision. If it was, that's a bad miss on Pep. It's a bad miss on
See,
Pep.
if you saw the whole what was it? It was like the free kick or whatever incident that was happening, and Palmer walked up to them. Do you think any former player is gonna walk up to their former teammates like that? That all the city boys, for the most part, they don't really have an issue with each other. For the most part, they're always like happy with each other. I think it's just a management thing, like you said. It wasn't anything that it's like a personal attack on him. more than likely, again, they didn't realize how good he was because, again, Pep, if you see how many times he's played him, no matter what, he still plays the guy. Just
Mhm.
because we had injuries and everything, fine. But he still plays him. He chose him over other players. He could have been, rotating the players. And Pep, he likes to rotate. He could have been rotating, but he still chose him first. So when it comes to that part, I can absolutely agree. Pep wanted him to stay. But at the same time, he's not the one who actually calls the shots. Because
Yeah.
again, for Palmer, it's his choice. If he wants to go, he can go. I mean, Pep has always said this. He can't force anybody to stay, but he can, kind of coerce you into staying. You see what I mean?
Well, it would have been,
But
but it would have been so easy. You just drop him in the starting lineup because he could be in a starting lineup at City right now. I don't care what anybody
yeah,
says.
he could have.
would easily.
No, he could have. He could
So
have
there
been
were
on the
some
right
ways.
wing.
Yeah, there's some ways you could have allowed him into the team. I'm just saying, from my point of view, I just find it hard to believe. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, he definitely could have been on the right wing. That's not. To me, we need help on the right side more than anything. On the left side, towards the backside, it hasn't really clicked because the midfielders are not really clicking. That's why we're having issues on the backside because most of the goals that we got scored on, most of them are coming from that end. The midfield is not really helping, so the defenders are always out of position. They can't really coordinate properly. But on like the up front, and that's why if you look properly or if you're looking closely, you see Bernardo Silva always like doing all these weird runs because that's not his natural position. I don't see him as a right winger. I see him as an attacking midfielder who can play again multiple positions, just like Foden. But to me, I see him as an attacking midfielder who can float right ahead, like what's his name Alvarez does now with what De Bruyne used to do. That's where I see Bernardo Silva. I don't see him as a out and out, right winger. No.
Okay, question for
And
you. Would
Palmer,
you have
Palmer could have done that.
Okay, what would you have preferred Palmer have stayed?
Yes. I mean,
Okay. Now,
what was it?
would you have preferred
Go
Palmer
ahead.
had stayed and not signed Doku?
I don't think that option was going to be an option because, again, I would have preferred it, but it wasn't really an option because it was Palmer's choice in the long run to go. Somebody came for him, and he had to say yes. Well, he chose to say yes.
Do you think it's because right after you sold Palmer, you signed Doku, right? I think.
Yeah, yeah. There was a
Oh, he
space
was
that
a late
needed to be
one.
filled. So
Doku
yeah,
was a late one, right? Or was Palmer a late one?
yep.
No.
No.
I
Doku
think
was a late one.
Palmer left. Palmer left early.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Palmer left early, and
Maybe.
then Doku came in.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, do you think the plan to bring Doku in was always in the plans?
Maybe they were considering him in the background, but it wasn't like the first thing that because we're gonna. Let's put it this way. Maybe we knew we always gonna have an issue on the right wing. Since Morris isn't there anymore, we needed somebody to fill that spot. Palmer could have done it, but I'm guessing Palmer in his head, he's like, I don't see myself playing every single day. Maybe, and he chose to, go. Again, for me, I would rather have a squad player who can do that role, who can come in and challenge people and push people to be better. If he was going to do that, perfectly fine with me. But if again, if he just doesn't want to feel like being a squad player, he wants to be the main guy. Chelsea's going to give him that.
So it's
Right now,
interesting.
Chelsea's going to
Actually, I
give him
looked.
that.
Sorry to cut you off one more time. So
Yeah,
actually, what happened was they signed Doku late August, and on transfer
yeah,
deadline day, that's when Palmer left. So about a month later. Interesting.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah.
but the whole Palmer thing it was talked about for a while. It was talked about where was it
Oh, really?
like
Okay.
what was it? What was that Club World Cup game? It was like a lot earlier before that.
The
But
Super Cup game, right? Let me check.
yeah, yeah.
When was that game? That was August 16th. So you signed Doku
Yeah.
after that match.
But and that's where Pep did that interview. Like, if he wants to stay, we want him. But it's not up to City. It's really up to the player and whichever team comes for him. If United came for him, I'm sure you guys would have wanted him over Anthony. But
So are you gonna go into the games we just watched, or I'm sure Mordecai's itching to get to that.
oh, I'm sure he is. But
Which
let's
one?
not go to that. No.
Egypt,
Either
Let's
one.
not get-
Hungary,
Hey, let's do.
Colombia.
Screw the Egypt. Screw the Egypt. Nobody watched
Okay, real
the
quick.
Egypt match. Let's be real.
Let's do last week's predictions real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right,
All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. All right, first up. This is our current score, or this is the scoreboard before last week.
Unbelievable.
Chelsea versus City. Only one person predicted a draw, and that was Mordecai. Everybody else predicted City.
You guys all doubted me.
Through the game.
Mordecai didn't
Yeah,
doubt
dang
you.
I
I
know.
told you that it could
That's
happen.
4 points for Mordecai, and he temporarily takes over the lead.
It was always in the
61
cards.
points.
Always in the cards.
The next game
Okay.
we have Roma Lazio. What was the score in this game?
No.
Was it really?
1-1. Not my 1-1.
No, it ended 0-0. Yeah.
Ended 0-0?
I think it was 1-1.
No, it was 0-0.
Wow, Mordecai
I
again
let it just go into
with the 4
1-1.
points.
0-0. November 12th.
Oh, I thought someone scored. Or am I thinking of another game?
Probably the
Wow,
you know
Mordecai
that-
with another easy 4 points.
GG's.
Unbelievable.
GG's. It's just
And the final game, Sevilla Betis. What was the score?
1-1.
Oh, that one was 1-1. That's what I was thinking of.
And
Yeah.
now-
Oh,
it's
NL. With the perfect
And
score.
I guess and I
Greg
get
got the
2-2.
4 points.
Wait, does he get the score if he's not in here?
Hey, wait. I mean, what do you mean?
All
I'm listening.
right.
I'm listening, but I'm on a stream and I'm also listening to you.
7
what did I get
points.
right? What did I
You
get
got
right?
7 points.
What score did I get right?
Sevilla versus Betis.
What did I say?
You said 1-1, and it was
1-1.
1-1.
Oh,
All right,
Oh.
your team's predictions. United won. What was the score?
1-0.
1-0. All right, so you got 4 points there.
I got that right too.
Oh no, you get 2 points there. Sorry, 2 points there. You said 2-0.
Oh shit.
What else did we have? Liverpool. What was the score in the Liverpool game?
I missed it by 1. It was 3-0.
3-0. Damn. Both Don and Mordecai get 2 points. Damn, Mordecai with another 2 points. Jeez.
Let's get him in there. Let's get him in there.
Jesus.
It's a one team
week,
league
lucky
here.
week.
It's a one team league here.
Arsenal score?
It was 4-1.
You're lying.
Was it really?
No, my bad. It was 3-1. My bad. 3-1.
All right, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it.
Hey, he's trying to give himself points.
2 points.
No,
for
I had a
Banana.
brain for it.
FFP stuff. It's
City
okay.
drew.
It's a
Madrid
3-1
was a
round.
Madrid score game. Or score.
5-1.
5-1.
2 points for Bottle there. And Barca? 1-0?
2-1.
Go see that?
2-1.
Oh, 2-1. 2-1.
Yeah.
Damn.
Stefan gets 2 points. All right, damn, we have a new leader, guys.
I'm back to the top.
Oh, you were
Can't
top
remember.
one time?
Yeah, I was always top. Bottle took over the last 2
Temporarily.
weeks.
Damn,
Temporarily.
NL takes over Banana's spot.
Oof, that's gotta hurt.
There we go. That's our leaderboard now.
What's my position right now? What spot did I take?
You're
Right
tied for
outside the top,
fourth.
outside the top 4 like United.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm making
Fourth
a
and fifth are
comeback.
good.
I'm making a comeback.
That brings us to our games for this week. I think one of them has to be Brazil versus Argentina.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right, so think about that one.
Who's home?
That's what I'm gonna look that up right now.
Only games that matter, right? No. So Euro qualifiers, African qualifiers, and South American. Maybe USA.
Brazil's home. Yeah, qualifiers. Brazil's home. Is there a name for this rivalry?
No. I looked it up one time. There's nothing.
Yeah, we got Brazil, Argentina.
They're too busy being rivals. They don't care about the name.
You don't really. No.
I
more
mean,
of a
it's not
tournament.
really a big game. It's a friendly, but Germany, Turkey.
No.
No, we can't do friendlies.
I'm seeing Super Classic of the Americas.
What's going on in the USA?
Is that what
USA
they call it?
0-0, by the way.
Super
Yeah, no.
Clásico de las Américas. I don't know if that counts.
Let's see. Euros, England, Malta. I mean, guess the goal difference, I guess. Ooh, Nations League playoff. Jamaica, Canada. Honduras, Mexico.
That's gonna be a
Scotland,
game.
Norway.
Let's see. Saturday.
Papusas
Romania,
versus tacos.
Wales.
Hey,
I was gonna say
Pupusas are
on
pretty good.
Sunday,
Yeah.
Scotland versus Norway.
Scotland's
Ah,
already
Gio.
qualified and Norway's already disqualified.
Done.
I think it'll still be a good competitive game.
Could be.
No,
Could be good.
Martinelli's out. Or Odegaard's out. It's gonna be a boring
Yeah,
game.
Odegaard is out. Haaland is
I
going
mean,
to be
Odegaard
out.
hasn't helped, so won't change
Oh,
much.
okay. I was just trying to point out the key players. My fault.
There's got to be some good games. Let's see.
It's
Ukraine, Italy.
international
Is
break.
that?
All it does is just break players. What else do you expect?
Let's see. So Netherlands is in 3. Oh yeah, Ukraine, Italy will be good. Italy with 2 games in
Algeria,
hand.
Mozambique.
Ukraine, Italy. I think we did the reverse fixture of this one last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Italy won it pretty well, right?
I think it was 1-0.
It was 2-1.
Yep. It was
Oh, it
one.
was 2-1.
2-1 or 1? Okay.
So Netherlands game, I think would be good. Netherlands. I think Ukraine, Italy, Ukraine. It's not that group's not done yet.
Yeah, that works.
They're both in contention. If Italy has 2 games left, this is Ukraine's final game in the group. So it's like basically a must win for Ukraine to have it in their own hands, or yeah, pretty much must win. Where is it?
Oh.
Wait, what am I looking at right now? Wednesday. Oh my god.
You're looking at NL. That's what you're looking at.
NL, what do you think? Ukraine, Italy? Good game?
Good talk, NL. Good talk.
NL's gone again.
Okay. Good job. Okay.
Oh, do you want to do Canada, Jamaica?
There you go. This is what I'm looking at, by the way. So this is the situation in the group.
Oh,
It's not bad. It'll be good. Ukraine's final
so
game.
Italy. Yeah, Italy needs to win, right?
Does Italy have another game? Or do they play like tomorrow or something?
I was saying.
Oh,
it's
they
the
do play tomorrow.
CONCACAF quarterfinal second
They
leg.
play.
Canada, Jamaica.
Macedonia.
So it should be.
Yeah,
a winnable
these are
game.
these are 2 like so tonight's game, USA Trinidad is 2 legs. This is the first leg.
Second leg. Are we doing predictions right now?
Yeah.
Huh?
What
We're trying to
prediction
figure out the
have
predictions.
I missed?
We haven't started yet. We haven't started.
Oh.
All right, Ukraine. I
We're trying
think
to figure out the predictions.
just 2 games, okay? Are there any other games?
I was saying
What about South America?
CONCACAF
Is there any
second
other-
leg quarterfinals. Canada versus Jamaica.
Okay, let's do that.
Who's Colombia playing?
Uruguay.
Let's just Canada, Jamaica. So we have to pick an aggregate score, or what do we have to pick?
So this is the second leg, so someone's gonna win this. It's gonna go to pens if it's joint.
No, the first leg is tomorrow. Oh, the first leg ended 0-0?
No, this yeah, so this is the second leg. So there will
Okay.
be a winner in this.
Okay. So we can go. So penalties are an option, right? Penalties are an option. Okay, so these are our 3 games:
Yes.
Brazil, Argentina, Ukraine,
Fun.
Italy, Canada, Jamaica.
Are we doing the whole aggregate?
Ecuador, Chile.
No.
No, we got 3
No.
games. 3 games is good. 3 games is good.
Alright.
Are we doing
let's
the
start-
aggregate score for Jamaica, Canada, or what?
Pretty much.
What
yeah.
about
It's
Qatar, India?
0-0, so
It's 0-0 after the first leg.
No, they haven't played. They play tomorrow. It says.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying,
I
bro.
thought, oh, it's showing 0-0 on here.
No, it
Yeah, 'cause
says
they haven't
tomorrow
played
at
yet.
4. Yeah, it's tomorrow at 4.
Oh, well, that's just the first leg. Fuck it.
No, let's do aggregate score then.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
they
works.
always do. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 2 games combined.
Double point.
All right. What do you think the aggregate score is? And I'll mute up for a sec. We can hear the others. We can hear other stuff in the background. All right. Who's got an aggregate score for this one?
I'm
Or
gonna
should we just
go
pick who
with-
goes
Yeah.
through?
Give me
I'm
4-2,
gonna say
Canada.
Jamaica goes through.
All right,
Oof.
Jamaica. What's the aggregate though? Give us an aggregate.
2 goals. 2 goals for Jamaica.
2-0. Jamaica. 4-2. Banana.
Yeah, 4-2 Canada.
Canada.
Interesting. Does Canada have
And-
enough money for these trips, by the way?
No comment.
NL, do you got a prediction for this one?
You think they're offline coach?
Hell no.
NL, you got a prediction? You got to unmute.
And that was just one stream.
Oh, he's
Move
good.
on.
Okay.
All right, move on.
Bottle.
So, you all don't know this, but they last played in March and Canada won 4-0. So, just going to use that info and justify a 5-1 win.
Damn.
Potential penalty for the
Aggregate.
U.S., by the way.
For Canada.
Yeah, for Canada.
All right. Greg.
No.
We're all.
Let's see here. I'll go 3-2 Canada, just edging it. And you know I like my edging.
Jesus Christ.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure Canada do usually smack other teams. They got a pretty stacked squad.
All right.
For
What
the
am I going to
CONCACAF at
say?
least.
I'm going to say 2-1 Jamaica. Why not? NL, Earth to NL, you there?
And
All right,
else
moving
on
on.
Mars.
Ukraine versus Italy. So this is basically a must-win game for.
Both
Well, it
sides.
depends what happens against North Macedonia tomorrow. But yeah, it could be win or draw for Ukraine.
Ukraine?
But it's probably gonna have to be maybe even win or draw for Italy. But yeah, depending on what happens tomorrow, most likely they'll win tomorrow. I'm guessing.
I think Italy has this one. I think they show.
You gotta remember. Remember last time what happened with North Macedonia in a playoff?
No,
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They took out Italy, so no, okay.
They're gonna want
Unbelievable
revenge.
stuff.
But you know,
The ref,
nations always have
by the way,
one off game.
The ref went to the screen and did not confirm the penalty for U.S.
Yeah, he said it was a draw, bro. Yeah.
NL.
Mm-hmm.
Canada versus Jamaica. What's your prediction on aggregate? First and second leg combined.
3-2 Jamaica. Yeah, I'll go Jamaica. Yeah.
Let's go.
This man.
Okay.
This
We got
man.
3 for Jamaica. Ukraine, Italy. What's your prediction, NL? Big game.
2-1, 2-1 Italy.
I'm gonna have to go with that score as well.
Wow, 2-1. Italy.
Damn it, you guys are edging everything now, huh?
I'm gonna
Give me a
go
second.
It's not November, people.
3-2
Stop the
Italy.
edging.
Yeah, 2-2.
2-2.
That many? You guys see that many goals?
I always see goals.
Yeah.
I'm always predicting goals.
I will go a mighty 0-0.
Yeah, that sounds
Oh,
good.
there you go.
That's actually.
All right. And Greg?
Unbelievable. Damn, I've never seen a negative scoreline before, but okay. Let's see here. I'm only looking at it on the Italy perspective. Let's see here because they have 2 games. Oh boy. Let's
Yeah, I'm
just
back.
go. Damn it.
Look at
3-2
nigga,
Italy
Greg.
again. Damn it. 3-2
Say
because
3-2.
Ukraine, yeah, Ukraine might want to, do something about it,
Ukraine?
and Italy might, yeah, 3-2 Italy.
Ludwig's about to
Ukraine
pop
or
off.
Italy?
Zinni, bro. Zinni with the scorpion
Yeah.
kick. I'm giving him a
Yeah.
scorpion kick again. I'm gonna
Bros.
put the parlay up.
Well,
I get Mimi
for this
vibes from
game.
Zinni.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an
Anyways.
easy game for one team because the
Brazil,
star players
Argentina,
injured.
both coming off losses.
Well, we'll get into it. I'm gonna stick with the boys. I'm gonna give me a 2-1 Brazil.
Oh no, it's Sunday. What day is it? Tuesday or
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday? Tuesday. No, yeah. 4:30 Tuesday or 4:30 Tuesday. Let's see. I want to see the injury record. Let's see here.
I don't know if it's updated, but they might need to
Oh,
add
they don't
Vinny.
have it updated yet.
Yeah. No.
Damn, Brazil with the loss could see
Everton will be
themselves in some
relaxed and stuff.
issues.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, they need a win.
Yeah, pressure's on
Yeah, that's
Brazil.
rough.
Okay, so NL Brazil versus Argentina.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
He muted.
I'm going 2-1. Who's at home?
You say
Brazil.
3-1. Brazil's home. You said 3-1
I'll
or
say
2-1?
2-2. I'll say
2-2.
1-1. 1-1,
1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Jeez. Okay. Who else got a prediction?
I'm gonna say 2-0 Brazil. Allison keeps the shutout. Clean sheet.
Give me a 2-1 Brazil.
2-1
2-1 for
Brazil.
both of them.
No, I'm going to 2-1. He can go 2-0 and live in dreamland. That backline sucks. That backline sucks right now.
I'm gonna go
Well,
4-2 Brazil.
damn.
Goals, baby.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
This is how optimistic I am.
Yeah, I can do
Well, no, I think it's gonna be 3-1 Argentina.
Yep. Let's do 2-0 Argentina then.
2-0.
I should probably say just 3-0, but I don't know. I feel like Brazil might just get a lucky goal at some point, but
Yeah.
they're gonna smack them. Like they just lost the best player. The defense looks leaky. It's just come on.
All right.
Might also decide to play rough games with Argentina, so we'll see.
All right, here we go. Let's get into our topic. South American World Cup matches for tonight, guys.
We're just talking about the matches.
Let's start with Argentina versus Uruguay.
Wow, incredible match.
Mordecai, have you seen Darwin's miss?
I have seen Darwin's miss.
What do you think of that?
I don't I think that just happens sometimes. I think he got the defender was close to him, and Martinez, who was voted the best goalkeeper at the Ballon d'Or, came out, and I think
What?
it's just one of those.
Yeah.
Was he not voted #1 goalkeeper?
Yeah,
He didn't.
but guess
Yeah.
who went
Okay.
above him? Actually came to the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. So
Mission failed. We'll get 'em next time.
it's a tough one. It's
Jesus.
a tough one. He made up for it though, so that's what you want to see. The moment doesn't get to him, and he just moves on.
Here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing. How can you miss? Like, what do you think is the mentality? Like, if he has too much time to
baby.
think.
He has too much time to think. Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, Benfica, baby.
He just needs quick, not think about it. He has all that time to run. Even in the second goal, you could see he kind of hesitated a little, and it to his benefit, it happened. Like it happened that he kind of like hesitated, and his feet got shuffled, and he just hit it, and he like confused everybody with his own.
I have
like,
I have a quick question, Mordecai. So
Yeah.
you're saying Liverpool is giving him too much space, and that's why he can't finish most of his chances.
A lot of the times, I think so. I think he just needs to hug that. But I mean,
So you're
sometimes he
blaming the club,
scores.
not the player.
No. It's not that. It's just certain players
I'm
have
just messing
certain
up. I'm just
skills,
messing up.
and
I'm just
sometimes you need to play to those skills, and sometimes maybe he just needs to learn a little bit more from the other players.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
don't
Take a
hold it
chance,
against him
man.
right now because he's still scoring goals. I think it's the fact that he bounces back and like doesn't let him like last year. I think he let a lot of that get to his head, especially when he got
Yeah.
the red card. He was
Oh
like
yeah.
within himself, and you could see he was like gonna explode. He just has so much energy.
I mean,
I
he
think
did
this,
have that talk with Suarez, right?
yeah, a couple times. I think they said the club called Suarez to talk to him,
Yep. Yep.
which is interesting. It's way more interesting than Bielsa talking to him or you know getting together at the qualifiers or something. It's
Wait,
just
did he
super
really?
interesting. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
club. It was Liverpool phone Suarez on the break glass emergency Suarez um red telephone and got
Suarez
him.
had a similar issue in the beginning when he came in the Premier
Yeah,
League. So
it's just one of those things you kind of have to manage the player a little bit and just either you trust him that he's gonna eventually come good or you know it's just weird that he just scores. Like, how do you miss so much and then score 12 goals anyway? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Suarez was the same way, right?
Yeah,
I remember
Yeah.
Suarez that first season. He wasn't hitting a lot either, and he translated from almost the same type of league and Ajax from the Eredivisie. Yeah, Liga
Yeah.
Portugal now with Benfica with Nunez. I think he'll hit. It's just the issue with him is he doesn't have everything else that Suarez had to incorporate to finally get the confidence to finish. I think that's the issue. I think that's
the interesting is he has 4 assists this year. I mean, they've only been to Salah, but if you can get assists out of him, I think it'll mask a lot of his deficiencies. Sometimes,
that.
but it's weird that your striker is getting assists. That means he's
Yeah.
not as confident.
He also
Um,
plays wing.
Yeah, they kind of it's modern football. They're all gonna play in everywhere.
NL,
It's just one of those
are
things.
you
man.
there? NL's not here. Okay. Bottle, would you take Nunez at Real Madrid?
Can you say that again?
Would you take Nunez at Real Madrid?
Like a backup striker. Yeah.
To Joselu?
I'll probably as a backup to Joselu, yes.
You think Joselu's better than Darwin Nunez?
I think if Joselu was put in front of the goal when Nunez is, he scores. Yes. We need a
Interesting.
goal scorer. We don't need someone else that just runs that goal and misses. We already have enough of those.
Okay, well, I'm talking instead of Joselu. Would you take Joselu or would you take Darwin?
I mean, might as well go. I'd take Nunes because he's just younger. You know,
Just because he's younger.
he got more to give.
Okay.
Let me read these real quick, though. Let me read these because he brought up that point. Mordecai did. All 7 of this goals scored by Nunez this year have come from Salah as well. It's an interesting thing to link up.
Huh.
He said that all, yeah. And then also, too, another stat about their attack, just an FYI. Liverpool has made more passes into the opponent's penalty box, 429, and created more scoring chances, 33, than any other team in the Premier League this season. So, I mean, 7 is 7. You know what I mean? 7 is 7. I don't know if that has to do with your midfield. Well, it has to do with your midfield. It's so explosive going forward.
It might also have to do with the manager because last season they did have a little issue with the midfield and the attack not really linking up. So I'm guessing the attackers are taking it upon themselves to actually link themselves up.
Yeah,
So-
and they're all fighting for a spot now.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's like it's not a problem until he doesn't get that second goal. So today he got that second goal, right? And he's been getting goals here and there. When those goals dry up, it's going to be tough for him to get on the field because he doesn't. I mean, he brings chaos, which is like, it's just that thing. Like off the bench, he always brings chaos, and even when he starts in the first half, he always brings that chaos. So, and he's putting Gakpo on the bench, even though Gakpo has been not bad either.
Yeah.
Um,
Out of the two, Gakpo has been a little bit more consistent.
yeah. I mean,
But
Klopp
it
did
is what
try
it
him
is.
on the midfield last on the Brentford game, but we had injuries, so
Gakpo, 10
Hey, Cart,
matches,
who are
2
you?
goals.
say that again.
Who are you DMing? Cart, who are you DMing? Amaranth? What
Don't
was
go
it?
phone watching. Don't go phone watching. Oh, I said
What?
10 games, 2 goals for Gakpo
10 games, 2 goals. Okay.
compared to the 11 and 7 for Nunez. So I think it's a huge drop off, personally.
Yeah.
But he brings so much more, and
Yeah.
he links them. He's more of like a Firmino type player.
But
I want to say he's Firmino, but like he's that kind of player.
You need a replacement for Salah in a while. When it comes to that, that's where I worry. Is Gakpo the answer? Or is it Nunez? Is Nunez going to be that inside forward that gets you the
Don't do
goals?
that.
Because
Unbelievable. Don't do that. Okay, this guy.
Check it
What
out. I got a
is
new
that?
headlamp. Ready?
Okay.
Oh, you
let me
can't
see
see
this
it.
thing.
This
Oh,
guy.
Jesus Christ!
Hold on. It's like it's a LED strip. And then
Dude.
What do you even use that for?
at night
He's
because it
going
gets
hunting
dark.
in the vineyard stuff.
Oh,
And
the
then-
vineyard
yeah, when he
stuff.
goes
Yeah,
digging
then
up the
check it out.
vineyard,
I
yeah.
forgot.
So like there's this, and then I can put it on this mode.
On the
And
side
now-
only.
Unbelievable.
I don't even have to touch it.
That's what she said.
Oh,
So it's just like and then apparently I just learned this. If you hold it, it's meant for running too. When you're running at night.
Okay. Yeah. You're gonna make your viewers pass out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bro, I get seizures. Chill out.
Oh, I got to put one of those warnings. But
Yeah,
it just
for
finished.
real.
It just finished charging, so I just thought I'd show you guys.
So are we gonna talk about Ugarte pretty much locking up Messi the whole match, like just absolutely like destroying anything going into that 18-yard box? That was kind of crazy.
Bottle,
He
are
kinda
you,
led
on,
the
are you on your phone or something? Something sounds different.
I'm on my laptop.
Oh no, sorry, not bottle. Banana.
I don't know,
You-
bro. For some reason, my headset or my headphones, yeah, it sounds more muffled there now. I'll try
Okay.
let me try to do
Okay.
something. Let me try.
Okay. Try it.
Let me leave him. I'll come back in.
Okay.
All right. I know why it's muffled. He's behind your couch. He's just laying back there.
Damn. Yeah, isn't that
It's-
crazy?
you
Like
know
there
what
could
they
be a
say.
dead body back there. It's kind of a crazy
You know what they
thought.
say, like today in the Uruguay Argentina match. Another day, another win for the OGs.
Damn.
That better?
A little bit better, yeah. I think so.
I don't know what happened. Yeah.
It's all good. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, Ugarte. I mean, Uruguay just seemed
Such a
like
big
and this.
win. It's such a.
Yeah,
a-
it's like
It's a Bielsa effect or what?
Yeah, it's Bielsa, I think. Yeah.
going into the Bombonera as well, right? Going into the Bombonera. It's not just.
Yeah.
It's not just any
Is it-
match.
Was it a record? Was it some sort of record of? I swear I saw something about it.
About
Oh,
capacity or what?
Like Argentina or Uruguay not having won there in forever or something.
Oh, 10 years. It was the first win in 10 years against Argentina.
Oh wow!
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And those are the first
Yeah.
goals Argentina's conceded this World Cup qualification, and I think going back to the World Cup final.
Yeah.
This is also the first time since 2015 that both Brazil and Argentina lost on the same day.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, but Uruguay looked good. Facundo Pelestri leading the line on the right side, you know.
He had to just put that one in there.
No, it's good to see him getting
Bravo,
games
man.
for them.
Yeah.
Everyone
think-
played
I'm
well
just
for
saying,
them.
the Uruguayan midfield bossed it.
Do you
Yeah.
think Uruguay has a
Gordon.
chance of getting to the semifinals this World Cup?
I think Copa, winning the Copa is the
or
first
winning-
domino. That could happen. I think they could win the Copa. Right now they could on this form. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I don't
wouldn't
know.
put it past them. They need a
No.
few upgrades in some positions, but you know, if Nunez isn't the striker, maybe so.
I think let's stop being pessimistic here. They have to rely on Nunez for maybe the next 10 years. Get the pessimistic views out of here. Like it's him or nothing. So it's going to be him. I think it's more up to, does Valverde and Ugarte in this pivot really still work? Is this backline solidarity still going to work? Is it feasible to keep Araujo on the right back position at the right back position? It looked good tonight. I think those are the big things. Pelestri did a decent job. I think that was a big part of it, especially disrupting, especially on the counters.
Well, who else can they play right back? They don't have anyone.
That's
Realistically.
the thing, yeah, I know that's the thing. So you look at their lineups. There's not many options. The issue is if any of the front 11 go out or the first 11 go out, then you might have an issue, especially if like a Ugarte goes injured, something like that. It's an interesting team though. I don't know though, but I think also right now I'm being pretty reactionary as I am. I can see them win the Copa. I think Copa is the first thing that needs to happen.
Yeah, pull off a Chile.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I wouldn't say it's a Chile. I mean, they have some heritage. Remember, they won the first 2 World Cups, so they do have some heritage. I wouldn't say in modern time, but they do have some.
I'm
football
just saying,
heritage.
like, pull off the surprise wins and stuff is what I mean. Not exactly not having history or whatnot. I'm saying.
But I mean, besides Argentina, no one's really like being a front runner. No one's really a front runner. So I think in that aspect, if they can do this to Argentina in their home grounds, like the biggest ground they have in Argentina and Buenos Aires, bro, I think it's realistic in a neutral setting in America, they could pull it off. I'm not saying it would happen right now, but I don't think it's a huge shout to say that they wouldn't.
I don't know.
Well, I
I'd like to
wish
see it.
them best
I'd
of
like to
luck.
see it.
Yeah,
Like I said, I wouldn't mind Uruguay winning some stuff. That'd be kind of nice for them.
it'd be crazy.
I mean, but can we talk about the 2 boys who had just a disaster class? Alvarez and McAllister? That was...
McAllister
I'm
had
just
a
gonna put-
disaster class for sure.
Yeah.
Alvarez
He was
wasn't
subbed early,
so bad. Yeah, he got subbed off because he was playing like poo-poo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo Pepe with the goal for the U.S. What a
Oh, they
shock.
finally scored?
Yeah, Pepe,
Let's
not
go.
Belligan.
Pepe.
There you go, you twat.
Dang, dude, like that with Balogun?
I mean, in my personal perspective, yes, because of the leverage he tried to use in the summer, and he's not doing much at Monaco right now. Like, Ben Yedder's still getting in and bagging more goals as a sub against him. He's starting, Belligan's starting. Ben Yedder's coming off the
Ben
bench.
Yedder's also 29 years old.
I know,
Ben Yedder's
but
literally a
the
criminal,
kid,
isn't
yeah.
Let's not get into
Probably.
that. Let's not get into
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. But I mean, I look at it from the perspective, he did well last year in Balogun, scored 21 goals with Will still at rims. Really good up and coming coach. Goes to Monaco, a better system, and he's not doing it. And even with the U.S. recently, he hasn't been doing it. So that's why maybe a little premature to call him a twat. But I think
I
he's
want to say a better system. That might be a little bit of a stretch.
I think the club overall, yes, and they're doing better than Rems is right now, even though Rems is overachieving a lot right now in that league.
And they
Monaco,
finally started doing better. Honestly, it took them they were in a little rough patch for quite a bit.
who?
Monaco.
They've been rolling all season. They really have. They've been
But
doing well.
that's what I'm saying. Like before this season,
No, I would consistently
like
say compared to Stars and Rems.
they looked this squad.
But compared to
They always
Stars and
had
Rems,
like the
huh?
They
Reason?
just were not doing as good as people would have expected of them. Like, they
Yeah,
definitely underperformed quite a bit the past couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean, but all the teams in France, even PSG underperforms a lot. So I mean, here and there, you know what I mean?
I'm not saying no team underperformed. I'm saying compared to Rams, they were just not looking better in the slightest.
But the form the team's on, Balogun hasn't picked it up. That's the biggest thing, is that he doesn't seem like a striker who's doing well in France, but the team's doing well with other pieces. He's not the one really scoring. And they paid a lot for him for their standards, so that's why.
Yeah, Golovin popping off over
I don't know.
there. Bring Russia back into Europe,
That won't happen for a while, right? They just barely let the U17s in, right? Something like that?
I don't know,
Okay.
but let them back. I want to see Russia back in Europe. I want to see it.
What was the last, like...
I want to see what they can do.
I don't know.
Okay. Why can't Cinderella play soccer?
Oh, yeah, we go.
Glass slippers? I don't know.
Anybody know?
Something about a ball.
Something about John Terry slipping.
That's right, because she
slipping.
always runs away from the ball.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good dad joke.
Great joke. That's a great joke.
All right. What?
Can we talk about your boy
yeah.
Anthony? Can we talk about your
Here
boy?
we go. Here we go.
What's
Yeah.
going on?
Okay. I just have one more question for you guys. I've been thinking about this a lot. It's been really bothering me. How do football players stay cool during games? I've been thinking about this, and I think I have figured it out.
The breathable shirts?
No, they stand near the fans.
You're right. They do.
Wow.
You get it? Yeah, so it's...
I already got it. Okay.
1 second. 1 second. I think I got this.
I got it like 2 seconds before you even said it.
Okay.
Got the crickets coming out to play.
Okay. All right, here we go.
One more. Okay.
Anything to talk about? Anything not to talk about, Anthony?
I know, right?
We can talk about Brazil and how shit they are.
Which is
Okay, we can
the
talk
better
about
Brazilian,
Brazil.
Fred
Let's talk about
or
Brazil.
Anthony?
Yeah.
This was
No, yeah,
this game
we're
was
talking about Brazil. Hold on. We're talking about Brazil. Which is the better Brazilian, Fred or Anthony?
Okay, hold on. Just real quick, I just want to say this.
100%.
The Argentina-Uruguay game was a lot closer than the 2-0, I thought. It was like a 1-0 for a lot of the game.
Yeah.
And
we didn't
I
talk
think
about
it was
Messi's
both.
comments.
It was a more evenly matched teams. Brazil-Colombia was not the case, I didn't feel, for some reason. I mean, Brazil...
No,
I didn't feel Brazil was as good as it looked, I don't know. It seemed like they didn't have the fight. They didn't have that... They didn't have the midfield strength to kind of hold off the game. It was like very top-heavy, and then a bit of a weak defense, to be honest. And like, I didn't watch that whole game, but from what I saw, that's how it felt.
just top to bottom,
Like,
there's no fluidity.
PSG.
No
Yeah,
fluidity.
there's just no fluidity. Yeah, it's hard. How are you going to tell these European players that haven't probably played in a system of this rationalism that Fernando Diniz wants to play?
Yeah,
Do you
relation,
incorporate?
yeah.
Yeah. See, how do you incorporate people from the Brasileirado, the Brazilian league? How do you incorporate the European players? I think he's having a huge problem with that. I'll be 100% honest. Big boy Carlo isn't going to save this. Him with some BBWs from São Paulo and Rio
Whoa,
and the happy
what?
time.
Wow.
Wait,
He's
what?
not going to. They're not going to sit. You heard what I said. You heard what I said. They don't go to Dark to Miami. They go to the cheap guy on São Paulo or they go to Rio. But it's not going to save.
Banana. These people are not ready for this. I've told you. Private chat.
I know.
let's go.
No, they are. They were just taking off.
You
Everybody.
think I can't handle dirty conversations, Greg? Unbelievable, dude.
Oh.
This guy.
But,
This guy thinks
Carlo,
I'm I go to church every day or something.
Yeah, no.
You do. It's your
The
video.
horse video did not surprise me. Okay, the
Wow.
horse video did not surprise me. I didn't feel anything when I watched it, actually.
You didn't feel for the guy?
I'm numb to those
I'm
videos.
numb. Okay.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, you dirty.
That horse
motherfucker.
video is crazy. Honestly, that's how it felt though. That's how it felt because slowly but surely, you are right. You could tell they were missing chances. I don't want to hear anything people are going to say because they're just going to take away the brace from Luis Diaz and say, "Oh, he had a great game." He was dog shit awful. Was doing way too much, over relying on him the first 60, 65 minutes, and then he just popped up. That back line is one of the worst I've ever seen. To have Lodi from Marseille, you have Emerson Royale, an absolute piss poor right back. I remember saying that when we were doing the watch along. Piss poor. And you have Marquinhos, who just seems out of it physically at club level, at international level. And you have Gabriel Magalhães, who I love to dear, but if you're relying on him being your standout defender, it's going to be a long day. Okay, 21 showed me that. You're going to have a long day. And there's no fluidity. I think Janice got it completely wrong. You can't start Andre and Guimaraes. That's a whole different topic. How do you have physicality when it comes to playing against Arsenal, but then when playing for your own nation's badge, Guimaraes looks flat? I don't know if it's Eddie Howe. I don't know if it's the difference between going from Eddie Howe to Janice and having to play a more delicate system, play with each other when it comes to Janice. I don't know. That guy looked absolutely lost out there. It didn't work. And then the loss of Vinny kind of killed it on top of it. You had to put in João Pedro, who I said at the time too, championship level striker. That's the big issue. If you want to be real, that's the big issue, is there's not a striker right now that you look at and go, they could just step in. Because I'm not playing Endrick against Argentina and having him get injured and have Bottle come to me. Oh, see, this is why they shouldn't play for Brazil. F all that. They got a big issue right now. But they might not even. They might even.
International football.
Huh?
Kill international football. Worthless. Who cares
It's
about
not.
it?
It's not worthless because then you're saying, okay, we get rid of the continental tournaments, we get rid of the World Cup. You have to have these matches. There's a build up to it. There's a process. Just the same thing as a club.
I don't want them. I don't want them.
So you don't want a World Cup. You wouldn't want a World Cup. You wouldn't want a World Cup. Hold on, that goes for everybody. You don't want a World Cup anymore? The World Cup is just dead to
I
you?
don't give a fuck about the World Cup. I want the Champions League.
To be
Oh
honest, I
my
would too.
god.
Okay, whatever.
You'd rather Mexico
I'm sorry.
or
Why,
the USA?
I'm gonna say all this. Why would y'all care? Why
Okay.
would you guys care? Let's say, for example, if Martial won the World Cup. Why would you
What?
care? You
What?
see him lift.
I would be
Because
happy.
people care about their
I would be
nation.
happy about that.
Or let's pretend Rashford of England won the World Cup.
I'd be happy
I
about
wouldn't
that
care
too.
about
I
I
would.
mean, I'd be more
Or would you be
concerned.
more happy with him lifting a Champions League with United?
I'd be happy about that too.
You
Or
gotta
which
look
would
at
you
it.
be more happy about?
Okay,
Champions League or the World Cup?
I thought you were talking about the World Cup in general. Like you don't
I'm
care
not-
about
Yeah,
the World
it's
Cup.
good
the
to
World
win
Cup
and
in
stuff.
general.
I'm just saying, I'd rather win a Champions League for my club than a
I
World
would-
Cup for a nation I don't care.
I would rather the
Well,
USA
you're
win
not
a
saying-
World Cup than win a Champions League for United to win a Champions League.
Yeah.
Oh no.
See,
No.
I don't
No.
think it's true. You're saying, nah. I'm sorry.
How do you?
most
No,
definitely want a
no.
Champions
You're not
League
getting
over
off
World
this. You're not getting off. That's such an ignorant comment. How would you not care about your own nation over a place you've probably, sorry to say this, you've never been to or have no connection, you've gone maybe once or twice in your life to, instead of an actual country you live in and furthering your country. This is not you. This is not you, Bottle. This is not. Hold on. So you're trying to tell me all these players should just say, screw my nation. All I care about is going to play for a different club in a different country who I have no connection with and make money off of. No, that's not why we got into this game. That's what's breaking this game. That is such an ignorant comment. I'm sorry to say that. That is an ignorant comment.
Whoa.
The international game is what brought us all into this. Whoever says no, you're lying to yourself. The national game, the international game is what brought. That's the best part about it. Guys playing for money has been the biggest issue this whole time. What's killing the modern game is too much money's involved, and now we want to get rid of the only thing that has no materialistic value about it. Instead, it's just the pride about the badge.
But
Oh,
just
that's
look at
such a
how
bad.
corrupt FIFA is and how corrupt the federations are and how corrupt
Yeah.
Omnibol
It's,
is.
it's,
And
Yeah,
we're
listen,
having
that
World
does-
Cups in
That has not.
Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Like,
Look how corrupt Manchester
Come on.
City is. Come on, this they're making a laughing stock out of the Champions League. I mean, we can say the same thing about that.
You guys are really trying to sit here and tell me that a player should care more about their employer than the place they were born in or that they're playing for as the country of either their
who do you
relatives
think
that they.
Trent
Banana.
Alexander-Arnold cares more about, Liverpool or England?
I honestly swear to God, I think it's England. There's no way you're-
There's no way. There's
Mordecai,
no
hold
connection.
on. So you would rather Liverpool win a Champions League than Mexico win the World Cup or the
Agree.
United States? Really?
Agree.
It makes sense.
but,
I'm
but,
sorry,
but
it's like,
banana,
my
but
club
banana.
comes
I understand what
over
you're saying. I understand what you guys are saying. My thing is where I grew up, Ghana. It's always really bad when it comes to like international stuff because when you always go into it, the federations for some weird reason, there is always some money ties to it. For me, that makes it impossible for me to actually watch and cheer them up. Like
Yeah, it's
sometimes
always
I
you
mean,
you you, you, you see
okay.
you see I'm not saying that again it's a good thing. I'm saying it's bad. That's why it turns me off.
So you
because
shouldn't
when
like.
they're supposed
So
to be
you shouldn't
playing-
enjoy watching City then.
Okay, you're not getting the point.
Oh,
When they
there's
show up there
corruption
to
stuff
do the
going on.
job,
No. Let him land. Let him
hold on,
land.
when
Let him
they
land.
show up there to do the job, like you've seen instances where Ghana gets all the way up to a certain point, and then for some weird reason the whole team just collapses, and you're like, wait, why are they collapsing? And you start digging into it, and you look behind the scenes. It's always about money. Somebody promised them something, and that person took it away because they're like, hey, you guys were supposed to have, I don't know, $1 million, whatever it is. Yeah, we can't do that right now. So because somebody pocketed the money. And then the players in the long run are like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not gonna, do all this hard work. You promised me something, and then halfway you take it away from me. And then they're like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Some of them really wanted to just play for the national team, and I applaud those players. Like, what's his name? Sule Muntari. He wanted to actually play for the national team. There's a whole bunch of players. Essien, Samoa, like a whole bunch of them. If you had what's his name, Samoa Gyan, who missed the penalty, he wanted to do it for the money. He didn't care about all the extra stuff. He wanted the fame. He wanted the luxury of doing all these cool things outside of Europe, like outside of the actual, national stuff. He came into the national stuff to do whatever he needed to do, get his fame, moved out to Europe, did whatever he needed to do, and moved again just for the money. He didn't care about any of the extra stuff. And that's where it turns some of the legit fans, the people who want to actually, watch a good game. Again, players moving to clubs to play with them and get paid, that's one thing because they're doing their job over there. When it comes to the national team and you're supposed to do your job, just because somebody takes that money away doesn't mean you're like, oh, well, fuck you, I'm out. You're still getting paid at your club side. So why aren't you still just doing your job at the national part? You've been called up. Just do the job. Go back and prove that it wasn't you that was the problem. It was the FAs, the federations. And I get Banana's point. It's killing the game because they're looking at their club and they're looking at it and like, man, my club is paying me more. I'd rather, focus there. And I get it. You can go ahead and ask your question, Cart.
I don't know what what are you responding to?
Like what Banana said, I'm agreeing with him, but at the same time, I'm also shedding a light on why sometimes some of the players go over there and they don't actually care too much about some of these national tournaments.
That's okay.
Because
Well,
some of them they don't see the World Cup as something that is attainable. They don't see it that way. Some of them are like, nope, World Cup, it's way high up there. I can't get there. They would rather just focus on like their little individual continental titles.
I don't know about that. I mean, okay, obviously, like I don't know if that's that might be the case in some situations, but I don't think
Okay.
like I don't think that's the majority. That might be the case in some situations though. I think a lot of teams go in there and they think they could be a Greece, you know, or they think they could go in and
Europe,
make something
I'm
happen.
telling you this right now, Europe is different from Africa. If you go to Africa, almost everywhere on the continent, everybody has almost the same issue.
I'm not
Almost
saying
everybody,
I'm
because
not
they
saying
end
there
up getting
aren't
promised something.
issues.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I think that the players want to win the World Cup. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
No, they do. They do. But the reality of it is that they're not gonna put themselves or hype themselves up, and then somebody who's like, hey, you know what? I see that you guys are gonna do a good job. We've built a good team. We're getting somewhere. I'm gonna promise you this. If you can beat this team, you're gonna get this. Okay, we beat the team. Where's your end of the bargain? Oh, you're not gonna give it to me? Well then fuck you. I'm out. That's what literally happened to us and some other teams.
Yeah,
Where
Nigeria is
we're
a big,
doing good.
big one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it literally happened to us.
But
It's
I mean,
happened to a lot of countries. So, my bad. Go ahead, Banana.
I
But
like
that's-
Bottle entering
yeah.
because I'm sorry I interject kind of rudely on him, but I'm curious why Bottle thinks this because at the end of the day, that's what globalized the game. It wasn't club football that globalized the game. It was the idea of you see these players at these tournaments first that maybe you've never heard of, and this was back before technology, right? And then you go follow them at these clubs. Without the international game, you would have nothing close to this. How big of a monopoly and how big of a sector of financial freedom that these clubs are given now. Without the World Cup, it was never going to be this way. And to say just demolish it all now is going to ruin the game even more on top of what the club game's already doing. That's what I say. And I'm sorry that I made it that rude, but I thought it was pretty ignorant because if you look at the history of the game, without it, there would be no grandiose appeal towards the world football anymore. That was my just big point about it. Is I can't put my finger on why somebody would think just bin it and let's just have the club game now. They also need a break too, and I think this is a good time to get a break in. And on top of it, we just act like you can just show up for a 7-game tournament or a 5-game tournament in your intercontinental tournament and just be a good team. You need these games. It could just be 2 games in between. I understand the format of it isn't always the best, but you need these to build up so that they can do any good. And so if you just say show up, then you're going to have the same problem that Greg's pointing out in Africa. It's because there's a financial problem. But then also, too, without the development up within the squad, you don't have anything there. So it's tough to say just bin it. That's my biggest thing. You can't just bin it.
It hurts everybody. Like right now, we're not that into the international break because for the most part, everybody sees it as a waste of time. For the most part, not everybody, but there are people back in my home country who actually want to do something with the national team. Like if you go into the leagues, I'm sure every continent has this, but in the leagues, you see people work hard to be called up for international stuff. They don't care. They're willing to do it. And they're like, hey, don't even pay me. There are people out there who are like, don't even pay me. I don't care about that. And then when these European stars come over who've played in all these big clubs, who've done all these big things, come in and they're like, hey man, yeah, if you score these 2 goals, score this 3 goals, do this for the team, if you're able to do all this stuff, hey, you see that big team, if you can stop them, don't worry. I'll tonight everything is on me or whatever it is. And then when the time comes and they actually do their job and they go back and they ask this person, hey man, so you know, you promised this.
No,
You
but
know,
see this
we got out of the group
that's
stage.
the part that's the part I'm kind of disagreeing with you, Greg, is when you say you promised me this, it's like
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I remember watching the World Cup a long time ago, and like, if a player on Iran scored, they get a free car or something like this. You know, incentives like this,
Yeah.
which is, you know, whatever. Like, you know, maybe a lot of these players don't have good club contracts, so their national team contract is a bigger deal to them.
Yeah.
But I still don't think that the fact that the incentivizing, I don't know if incentivizing games is the issue. I don't think, like, I understand that okay, it is an issue, but I don't think like that's like the deal breaker in these situations like you're
So
making it out to be.
what would be a deal breaker? Let's say, for instance, you're called up to I don't know, whichever
It would
national
basically
team you
be
want to
like
go into.
national funding or FIFA funding not going to the
Okay.
proper places, like
Yeah.
developmental academies, infrastructure, stuff like that. Not necessarily to individual players, but more like resources that are given to FAs in each individual country, and that money's supposed to go to building pitches or building academies or whatever, and funding those things. And it's not going there, right? That's a different aspect. That still doesn't mean that the players would be any less motivated to play for their country and try to get into the World Cup and represent their country on the world stage. I still think they do that, you know. I still think despite all of the corruption, I still think the basic pathway to the World Cup is still available to all the African teams, and I still think all
Yes.
of them want to play in the World Cup. You know, now you're talking
Yes,
about
they do.
incentives not being met or whatever. That's to me, that's a
Well,
different.
the incentives is like the main thing that they hold on to because again, some of them over there, your word is supposed to be something you're supposed to, hold on to. It's not something you just say. You don't just tell somebody, "Hey, the sky is blue," and they walk outside and they see, "Wait, it's green." Oh, back again. I'm not making this up. Back in my home country, you have to mean what you say. You have to say what you mean.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
you can't just say, "Hey, today we're gonna build this stadium. It should be ready by I don't know, next 4 years because we're gonna be having this tournament here." And then the fourth year comes over, and then nobody has actually built the stadium, and then you have to get all these people in, but you can't have spaces for them because you promised, "Hey, this is gonna be the amount of seats that is gonna be available." And yet stuff like this has happened. And if some of the fans lose, like where I grew up, I literally grew up right next to it's called the Accra Sports Stadium. It's like even less than a mile away from where I grew up. My grandmother's house was like right there, just like a Luton Town situation. It was like right there. So I was like, no problem. I'll go and I'll try to watch the games. But because they're always saying, "Hey, we're doing renovations, you're doing this, you're doing that," you can't watch some of the league games. But you can. People still try to go in to watch. The passion is there. The people want to do more with like the national teams. They want to do more with the league. They want to grow this thing. But unfortunately, there's always something that is stopping them. Maybe it might be like a mental block on the actual people. But
Okay.
for that, you might have to enlighten me on that.
So you would still prefer Ghana win a World Cup rather than Man City win a Champions League?
I mean, yeah, that's where I grew up.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, we agree there. Okay.
Yeah.
Just giving.
I
reasons.
am agreeing with you.
Okay. But you're giving reasons
I'm agreeing
for
with Banana.
a separate. You're giving a separate kind of argument as well.
Yeah, like why it's difficult for you to see people actually shooting towards that direction for like World Cup and everything, because there are other things that is hindering them from actually getting there. It's not necessarily again the team's
Okay, so you're
chemistry and
talking about
everything.
why
All these little things come
African
together.
teams. You're saying why African teams can't win the World Cup easily. That's why you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Okay, so that's a separate thing. We could talk about that too. Yeah, I think yeah, I definitely think there's an infrastructure problem. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's not
It's
just that; it's a
100%.
personal problem.
Yeah. What?
It's mainly personnel. It's mainly personnel. There's a lot of people in there that shouldn't be there, but they got in there because I grease your hand, you grease mine. Let's just say that. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I might get sniped over here.
I mean, yeah, on that topic, we could talk more about that. Is like look at all the current French players that have African descent heritage,
Yeah,
right?
and
Those
and they
players
move
stay in
someplace
Africa.
else.
Yeah, those players stay
Yeah,
in Africa. Those African teams are pretty dominant. A lot of them.
yeah.
Um,
Dogu is again Ghanaian, but
yeah.
why is he in Belgium? Again, there's a whole Germany. One of my cousins, he's in Germany right now. He's playing with the Germany team. Well, a league team, I think. I can't
Uh huh.
remember his like full name, but he has Kwanzaa in his name. So the first time I heard the name in the Liverpool team, I was like, wait, don't tell me he moved over there. I was about to say something to Mordecai, but I was like, nah, it's okay. But
I
yeah,
was
they
about to go visit you and get some memorabilia.
okay, calm down. But no, I, there's a reason why these players move out and they start like doing other things, other places because they get a better opportunity. Like when I
Absolutely.
was growing up, you don't get anywhere close to what you have out here. I had a very close buddy of mine, and when I came into the country, luckily enough, he was also coming in. So we ended up having to like touch bases, like trying to. He was in a different state. I forgot the state he was in, but um, I was trying to find places I can play, and he's like, "Man, I was lucky enough. I found a place I can play. I can do all these extra stuff." And I'm like, "Man, you're lucky. I'm over here, trying to find even one pickup game, and you get like maybe I don't know 4 Hispanic people, and you have to find a way to mingle with them. You can't speak the language. I'm still trying. It's again the passion for the game is there. If you go back, and I'm sure any African you've met, if you literally start talking about football, they're like, "Oh, this is my thing." Almost everybody, but yeah, it's the passion is there. They want to do well. They want to do great things for their country. Unfortunately, it's so much hard because there's a lot of people up there who are looking into their pockets instead of looking at the actual progression of the actual country. It's hard, but it is what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I almost think for those countries, World Cup glory would mean way more than club glory.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
mean even if
way more.
I know some people say Egypt or Morocco and all that stuff, they're not African. I don't see it that way. Even if they wanted, I would have been happy.
The Go Analysis is back.
Oh, welcome
Here we
back.
go.
Hold on.
Here we
Bottle,
go.
do you have any thoughts about this?
From the
Yeah.
1 hour.
I can go if you guys want.
Mordecai, go ahead, Mordecai.
So I grew up. My first memories is watching the '98 World Cup. Those Mexico comebacks, watching Jorge Campos, all that. I remember waking up early to watch the Korea Japan games, and I think when you're a kid, international football means way more than when you're an adult.
Yeah.
I know some adults still like obviously what happened in Argentina and everybody going crazy over there.
Hmm.
But you just see kind of how the sausage is made, kind of. You kind of grow up and you realize all the political instabilities in all these countries, that everything everybody does to get ahead.
Yep.
You see like Argentina is getting World Cup games next World Cup on the South Saudi Arabia one, and I don't know, man. It's just I can't. You see what the England fans are like. You see, like I went to a Mexico game in San Diego, and I was like, probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had as a fan. It's just disgusting. After I walked out of that game, I was like, man, I would have rather just watched it at home.
What? Why?
It's it's just the atmosphere was like I've been to like a Liverpool Chelsea game. I saw Dortmund. It's just like debauchery, like
Right,
just
right, right.
everyone's drunk, like fights happening all over the place,
Yep.
people fighting with each other, people passed out on the stairs, drunk, um, throwing beers at each other, arguing for no reason. Like
Hmm.
literally fights everywhere. And this was in San Diego. This is not like this is in like TJ or like you know, uh,
Well, it's
it,
basically
it was just it was just it was
at that
just
point, it's
crazy, man.
basically.
And nah, San Diego is not TJ. No matter
I know
how
it's not
long.
TJ, but it's like basically, it's a home match in
And
Mexico.
yeah, it was even outside the stadium. I saw people throwing up, walking up the stairs. Like it's just, I don't know. It
Okay,
just
so,
felt like
hold on.
odd to me.
Explain
And
why you'd prefer Liverpool win a Champions League over Mexico winning a World Cup. Is
I
it
just
because of
care
the
way
stadium
more.
atmosphere?
No, I just care way more about Liverpool. I live and breathe
That's
Liverpool
what
way
bro,
more.
Do you
The
feel like
political stance of the political stance of the city, their defiance against England. I kind of feel the same way living in California. Um, how we feel against Republicans and all the anti-trans, anti-gay stuff here. Yeah, I kind of feel like a brotherhood to that city. Um, it's
Jeez.
just the Klopp. I don't know. It's just I feel way more romantic about Liverpool than Mexico. That's run down, corruption, narco state, all that stuff. I just don't. I don't know. And then going to a match, and I remember that was one of the first times I was able to buy my dad a ticket. I went with my brother and my dad and I was like, hey, I bought us tickets. Like some like I thought in my eyes I was like, this is gonna be like a great family moment, and it was just not. It was I just honestly I came out of that I was like I don't know why would I come to Mexico again to a Mexico game again? I just don't care, and I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just I'm not into it.
okay? So
so what are we thinking about?
would you rather
Well,
Nigeria win the World Cup or United win the Champions League?
Uh,
United win the treble again.
No, Champions League.
It's Champions League.
no, I'll say World Cup because I've seen United win the Champions League already. Like
Oh,
I've
well,
seen that.
okay, but okay. Yeah, that's true.
Now the World see what
That's true.
like,
That's true.
That's the easy answer to go with, but I don't know.
but
Like
thing
I
with the
said,
World
I
that what
love club football.
my country hasn't we do. I think the most we've actually sniffed close to a World Cup was a final. Yes, like I had one mother guy saying that Mexico is it's a little bit corrupt. Say with Nigeria too, you can talk about the corruptness in our country, but the joy that just Nigeria just win the World Cup that's gonna bring, like the
Yeah.
joy and the excitement from that alone can literally gather the whole nation together. You know what I mean? It can bring the whole nation to unite together. That type of joy, that type of moment, bringing the
Almost everybody. Almost.
you saw Argentina, right? You saw how when Messi won the World Cup, the whole street were together celebrating the joy around. You know, that's those type of things. It can change. It can change a fortune in the country. So I would, if this was my younger self, even when I was 14, 15, right? I would probably say, oh yeah, United, easy, yeah, get me a Champions League. But what I'm just thinking of, okay, United, let's say United don't win another Champions League. We already have three. But maybe we win another couple of leagues, couple of FA Cup. I've seen us win trophies. So
Okay,
that's
let's
not.
say first Champions League
Oh,
versus first World Cup.
Well, you have to do this to me.
I mean, it has to be like you have to want your team to win a Champions League. It's what I mean. It's not like
Yeah, if you saw first Champions League and first World Cup, yeah, I'll go with the United Champions League.
Oh wow. Okay.
There you go. Come to the dark side.
Because like
Damn, this guy.
but let's keep it real. Let's be real. Like once when you fall up with football, you didn't not strength international football. You didn't fall up with international football. You had your your footballing club first. That was the first love.
I guess
International
that's
football.
different for everybody. I guess that's different for
Yeah,
everybody because
it's different for everybody.
yeah, for me it was
But
national
that
team.
part is different. Yeah.
Naturally, oh yeah, you're a fraud.
For
I
in
grew up
America, yeah. On TV, all we had was men's national team World Cups.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
My dad. I'll be United because my dad was United. Like my dad was a United fan, and I just became a United fan. You know,
Well,
Look at you.
that's also true.
Tribalism and stuff.
My family's
Okay.
all United.
So
fan.
you
A
were
lot of
cursed
them are
from
United
birth.
fans.
Unbelievable.
And to be honest, FIFA, the game,
No
video
wonder
game
you guys
FIFA,
can't think
the
for
default
yourselves.
teams were United and Liverpool.
yeah. It was like
United and Liverpool, those were the default teams.
you just the thing with United is that the United like you literally like the thing about what United has done like in my my lifetime is that like the lessons I've learned from United winning, the lessons that I've learned that that's helped me throughout my career, throughout my my life and stuff like that. It's just that's the thing. That's what makes you like. I kind of understand what Mordecai is talking about. Where the scouts were fighting for themselves. Yes, they were in the mud, but they never gave up. They were doing that stuff. So I can understand Mordecai's point. That's why I think he's gonna stick with Liverpool. But yeah, United on the Fergie day
Okay, so
was just.
Iran says you can't compare the two. It's like asking Luton fan if they would prefer UCL or England winning World Cup. And I get what you're saying, Iran, and I do agree, right? Like that's why I changed it to first one. But the thing is Bottle is a Madrid
that's the
fan
point.
and he prefers Champions League, and Mordecai is a Liverpool fan and he prefers Champions League. So I guess
Well, I mean, like
it's
this.
more
I
it's
didn't
a
think
more
about that.
specific question to you guys. Yeah.
I guess maybe it's more simple. Maybe other people have different thinkings. Like we've won a lot of Champions Leagues, obviously, but I would
Yeah.
still want to see another one. Now
Yeah.
maybe you guys
Okay,
might
DJ
might
Khaled.
be more. How do I say this?
Now you just
Wait, hold on.
what you call this
How
is
do
You
I
what
got
say
that
this? Some
soundbite,
people are more.
Banana? You got that
you know.
soundbite, DJ Khaled?
There's a
I
meme
know.
that goes.
Hold on one
There's a meme
second.
that goes on Twitter, right? When they talk about, have you ever seen the meme where they talk about the greed, the
Hold
greed?
on, hold on. Let Bottle go.
Let Bottle finish. Let Bottle finish. There you go. There you go.
Thank you. Now I was trying to say, so some people might have more of a bigger attachment to national teams. Maybe that's what you first got into the sport or whatnot. Now, that's not the case for me. Maybe that's a rarity or whatnot. I thought most people just kind of got into the sport watching club football one way or another. But when it comes to Madrid, I don't really care about national teams. Like again, I would love to see the players do well on the national team, but I don't care if they come back, got red cards or whatever, did terribly. I just don't come back injured. 'Cause that's all I care about. I don't really care to see how they perform or whatnot. I just don't want people to be injured, which keeps
What-
happening all the time. We have
Okay,
so
what-
many games in today's football that international
Yep.
friendlies, all these stupid like group stage stuff or Copa and
Yep.
all that, it's just so useless to me. Now
Okay,
again, people look at this stuff differently and people care about it, but for me, I just care about my club more than the national team.
I'll
Okay,
say it again. International break breaks the players.
Exactly.
That's all it
That's a
does.
different conversation, and I agree. Yeah, there's parts that I agree with. What is your national team, Bottle? You USA or is it England maybe, or you have a national team?
I just go usually whichever one has the most Madrid players. I don't really care for any one nation.
But
That's
if you
usually
had
how
to,
it goes.
like,
So
what would be
Brazil.
your
So
options?
Brazil.
Hold on, no. What would be your
There's-
options other than Madrid player, like as a person?
I wouldn't like. I would just watch as a neutral. If I was literally not a Madrid fan, I'd watch as a neutral. I wouldn't care for any specific nation. It's not
Okay,
about.
I guess I'm asking,
US.
where are you
There's
from?
nothing wrong with that.
I'm from the U.S.
Okay, and you like your family's U.S. and everything. Like you. That's the. That's
Oh, my
your whole
mother's
thing?
British, but yeah.
And you don't feel anything towards
Yeah,
Britain,
and
though.
my father is from Israel.
Okay. So if Israel's doing well on the World Cup level, you don't feel anything?
No.
Okay.
Nah, you're a fraud.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
I
so
don't
you-
care for international
I'm
football
joking,
like
I'm
other
joking.
people.
Okay, I'm joking.
No, I got you. I'm just trying to understand if you have any like. So yeah, the reasoning behind like I can understand it. Like you don't have any affiliation to any country. Like you don't feel any pride towards the U.S. where you live.
No, I don't
Okay.
really. If they do good for them. But I don't really feel anything
That is
if they
fair.
succeed.
That is fair.
I know I respect it, but it's just interesting. I understand. I mean, you can. Everyone has their reasons. I don't know. I guess I have a strong sense of national pride when it's some like Olympics and World Cup. You know, USA
Cut,
stuff. I
cut,
get up
cut.
for it. That's just me though.
Cut. Strong national pride. Let's go join the military. Let's go.
I would like to join the military. I'm not. I wouldn't
Nice.
mind.
Thank you.
Sports.
I
Baseball.
would.
Listen,
That's the
this
thing.
is coming
I
from
think it's
someone that's okay.
my
Being in the
family's all
military,
like
I mean,
they're all in
I'm
the
in the
Indian
military.
military.
I still don't have a feeling for the U.S.
Say that again.
Like I'm in the military right now, but I still don't have a
You
feeling
are?
for the U.S. Yes.
Yeah.
So if the USA
you for your
won the
service.
World Cup, you would feel nothing.
I wouldn't care.
What
That'd
the
be like
fuck?
good for them, sure. I'm not gonna be like overly celebrating like I love the U.S. like that. Like I don't really care for the U.S. national team. I don't care for
gotcha.
any other
I
national
gotcha.
team. But I will always love Real Madrid. If they win a Champions League, I'll celebrate it like it's the first. You know, it's just
I gotcha. No, I
love
gotcha.
That is fair. That
Interesting.
is fair.
Like even if
Understood.
India won, like I don't live in India. My parents are Indian. I have family that's Indian. If India won, I would be happy. I'd be extreme. Like India's in the World Cup
Did you
final
see-
right now. I'm
you see
rooting
Iran's
for him.
Did you see Iran's
Question
question?
for
I'll
Car:
say
would you
good
rather
job.
U.S.
I'll
win
be
World
like,
Cup
that's
or
a really
India?
cool achievement.
Wow, good question.
It's like I can
I
be
would
what if
excited
they
prefer
for
played each
them.
other?
USA.
Well, what if they played each other in the World Cup final? Who would you root for?
Yep.
USA.
There you go.
USA.
Unbelievable
But I
betrayal.
could, but
You
but I
would-
couldn't lose. I couldn't lose to be honest. But I would root for
Yeah.
USA
No.
because that's where I'm from.
No.
No, I'm
Betrayal.
serious.
I'll just-
No,
I- it
I
would-
could never
unbelievable.
root for the U.S.
It-
over Mexico.
Now it would be better for India to win the World Cup, you know, just for football in that country because there's so much talent there that just gets wasted. And like same thing with Africa. There's the infrastructure and like the corruption is crazy in India. So like a World Cup win for
India
them
won
would be
today.
way better. They won their cricket match. Oh, they won both cricket match and their Asian.
Yeah,
Was it the Asian Cup
The double.
or World Cup final? World Cup
good.
qualifier.
Listen,
Yeah,
when
so, like-
all these like World Cup stuff happens, I'll be rooting for whoever has the most Madrid players. Like good for them, but other than that, I'm not gonna say I have a deep feeling for any nation. I'll say.
Okay, so
Brazil.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way after the world, after USA, Mexico, and obviously India's never in it. But after USA and then after Mexico, then I go who has the most united players. That's usually how I go.
Unbelievable.
That's just how it is with international football. Then I just go based on individuals too, you know, etc. But I don't know if anyone have any comments on their level of why they feel pride for their national team or anything. Like, why does international football matter to them?
Because it's no money involved. It shouldn't be money involved in the first place, but I think that's the issue in Africa. And second of all, it's so beautiful to see players that weren't orchestrated for a team. Their only bond by this team is that they share the land that they were born and raised in. That was my issue, personally. I didn't mean to single bottle out, and my apology to you, man to man, right now. I'm sorry for how I acted that way. But I think it's just the whole issue is the tribalism mixed in with all the money mixed in, I think fueled your answer, even though you don't want to admit it. And I'm sorry for looking at it psychoactively like that. But I think that's what it was. And to be honest with you, we wouldn't have nothing about this game if it wasn't for what took for essentially the pride and the nationalism within these countries to build a world stage, which I've repeated again and again. There's something beautiful, the fact that they are making nowhere near their wages for this time. You saw it with the Argentines. You've seen it with a lot of other teams way before that. to fight for your country and not for your wage at the end of the week is something much more impactful and much more impeccable than getting your wages every week for it. And even with Madrid's case, you still get paid twice a year, right? So I understand that perspective where it's a little different for Madristas and stuff like that. But I don't think this money craze, because that's all the UCL is. It's a money craze tournament for the top teams playing. Agree or not, it's what it is. There's something special about these national teams where you can't orchestrate the teams up. It's just whoever's with you or with you, and you go as far as that. And so I think the issue stems from the tribalism towards clubs and also the money that's been involved now. Without that, you'd have it as it is now, and all we'd be able to lean on are these great players going to play for their nations, going head-to-head without joining based on recruitment and money.
Yeah, look at Croatia, for example. You know? Like,
And they're a pretty new sovereign state, too.
yeah, it's like such a small country. I think they should be made a better example. Like Argentina, Brazil, the big names, right? England, Spain, these guys have huge infrastructure, you know, leagues, national leagues, tons of global coverage, but like small countries like Croatia, Greece, right, going far in international tournaments is pretty remarkable.
Or even
It should give
Morocco.
hope. Morocco,
Yeah.
Morocco, yeah.
Nah, I'm not giving up Istanbul. I'm not giving up Barcelona 4 or Liverpool 4, Barcelona 0. I'm not giving up those games.
I don't think I think if the moment came and like USA or Mexico, I don't know who you have more feeling for, we're in the World Cup final, I think you'd be.
I would be hyped. Don't get me wrong. I don't think
I-
it would be the same.
It wouldn't be the
Yeah,
same.
it
I think it
wouldn't
would.
be the
That's
same.
the thing. It's like it's a different level of. But yeah, it's probably cultural, you know, for everyone. Because I didn't grow up
It's like
in
more-
England and stuff like that. I grew up in
Yeah,
America, you know,
like
being
what Mordecai
forced to
says.
say the Pledge
I
of
would love it.
Allegiance every morning.
but yeah.
That's so weird,
this
right?
guy,
That
there
is
it
weird.
Yep.
That is kind of weird.
Well,
It's
Every-
hey,
weird.
we did it in my country too. Every single day when you wake up and you go to school, you have to do the pledge and everything. You sing the national anthem, you do all these, crazy stuff. Yeah, it's something you live with. So the national stuff, air quotes, national stuff, it stays with you. So you want to do whatever you can. And like I said, over there, football is like it's almost life for them. And
Yep.
almost every day there's somebody playing, whether it be somewhere around the corner or even down the street on paves. It doesn't matter. There's always somebody who's sitting somewhere talking about football or playing football at any point in time. So it was mainly national stuff. Then we did like leagues over there, and then it was more, international stuff. That's how I'm thinking the ranking is gonna go. If you ask somebody, but right now I don't know how things have changed over there.
It just
Okay.
puzzles me. So I got a question. Does UEFA matter more to people now than what FIFA awards you? And if so, is that because of the corruption, and is that what damaged the image of international football? Because I don't think before 2015, with the Sepp Blatter issue and the bids for South Africa, Qatar, and Russia, we had this big of an issue. Was that a big turning point for a lot of people that it was that wide open? Because there have been other times in the past, especially with Argentina hosting in '78 and then winning as well. But was that the main cause for some people? I don't think Bottle, because I think Bottle just raised up and stuff. Is that the big issue for you guys? Is it there's this big construed idea or philosophy that we all just see it as corruption? Because in UEFA, you can argue there's a lot of corruption too. Why do we allow state-owned clubs? Why do we allow some certain clubs to be filtered by the governments themselves too? No names. We can all, make our own judgments about that. But I think there's something more beautiful about you having to work with your continental's federation on top of while maintaining your own infrastructure. I'm just curious though, is it the corruption part that is ruining it for some people?
I think it is.
Because
I think it's
because I don't get this, because essentially the people saying Champions League is more to them, it means that UEFA is bigger now than FIFA. Because on a global scale and how it ranks out, that's not the case. FIFA governs all of them, while UEFA just governs Europe. So you're telling me you'd rather have a trophy from the little bro to the big bro, or what's the idea here?
Hold on, Banana, since you're speaking, Iran had a point saying there's money involved in national teams too.
But that came as a part of more money being involved in FIFA too. It didn't start out that way. There was no money involved, and even nowadays they don't play for as much money as they do for their clubs, respectfully. The bigger idea is that they
I think
can't
they do get
fuel...
paid pretty well.
Yeah, there
No, we
was
looked up.
always money
It
in it.
wasn't great. Yeah, but it's not as
There was
great as...
always money in it. I mean, let me put it this way. I don't know if you guys might not. Never mind. But there was some past tournaments where Ghana did pretty good, and the players that were in there, they didn't care about all that stuff. They just wanted to play. Like
Yeah.
everything else wasn't even interested. Like they didn't care. And nowadays, because of the money factor, it's people are shifting more towards that side. And I get what Banana is saying. Like people are leaning more that way, and I don't know. It's weird to me, really. Like when I'm working, I want to be able to. I was talking to Cart about like work ethics and all that stuff a while ago, but when I'm working, I would want my work to be shown. I don't want you to say, "Hey, I'm paying you this and you need to make it like I don't know how to put this, but make it look fancy, make it look glamorous." No, I want to do my work. I want to show up, do my work, and when I leave, you're like, man, this guy actually came in to do the work. He's not coming in to make something look pretty and walk away. No, I want to make sure that before I walk away, it's working. I did what I'm supposed to do. I asked you for your specifications. Everything works, and I walk away. And that's how, if you look in the past, most of the players when they're playing like the national stuff, that's usually the mentality. Nowadays, I don't think it's like that for the most part. There's some of them are in there using it as a scouting option, where some of the big clubs more than likely will be looking at it and they'll be like, "Oh man, this guy is a very good player in here." And they'll play one or two games that is really good, and then they might have like a bad game, and then they'll just probably be sitting on the bench or whatever. I don't know, but I can't really. Like right now, I don't have that same level of passion that I'll have for a city game compared to like me watching a pure Ghana game. I don't know how to put this. They've just taken that passion away from me. I don't know how, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
And yeah, Bottle, I agree with you in the sense of these international friendlies and stuff like that, these international breaks in the middle of the club calendar and stuff like that. But when there's like an international competition, like Greg's saying, and Ghana's in it, like that's a different vibe than these international friendlies. Like you can't compare these games in like mid season with international tournaments. It's like a whole different vibe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, it all reminds you that it's just money. I mean, why does Mexico
No
play in the
sense.
U.S.?
See, that's the thing. It doesn't remind me of money at all. Like, I don't
Every
think about
time
the
that-
money.
Have you noticed that Mexico never plays in Mexico?
Yeah.
Only when they have to play in Mexico for their World Cup qualifiers. That's the only time Mexico plays in Mexico. Isn't that weird?
If the fan base is in the U.S., it's in the U.S. I don't know.
I would, but you don't think there's a fan base in Mexico for the Mexican national team?
I think there
It's just
is.
the fact that they can charge more in the U.S. So they're
And
like,
there's still
where can we
fans
make
here?
more money? Where can we make? But that just shows you that you don't think those Mexican fans would travel to Mexico, or those Mexican fans would travel to Mexico?
I don't know. They
I
may,
just
they may
don't.
not.
It's just all for show, man. The Mexican team doesn't care if they win or lose. All they care about is if they make enough money that year.
Let's see,
I understand people have different feelings about the competition and stuff, and the big competitions should, have them, enjoy them, or not. Again, if U.S. could ever make a World Cup final, I'll be on the side rooting for them. But if they win it, I'll celebrate like everyone else, but, I'm not going to really care. End of the day, I'll go back, Real Madrid, see how they're doing. It's one of those things for me. Everyone's different in that opinion. Some people, rooting for Ghana, It's always nice to see the underdogs, can pull up stuff, like Morocco. It was cool to see.
So it looks
I'm not
like
gonna. Mind that.
for
Go
friendlies,
ahead.
they play outside of Mexico, but for official games, it looks like they're playing in Mexico.
They have to. That's why.
Right.
I bet you if it wasn't by choice, they would play here as well. It's kind of to me, it's kind of rare to see a Mexico game being played in Mexico, which is kind of weird. Can you imagine, like,
Yeah.
like what if Ghana never played in Ghana? Wouldn't it just feel like
Yeah.
alien?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Or
it's not
Trinidad?
like.
Yeah.
But like Mexico playing in USA is so close geographically. It's not like if Ghana played. I don't know what the bordering
But
country
it just
is.
It's still
reminds
a
you that it's
good
all
trip.
about money. It just reminds you.
Burkina, Togo, and Ivory Coast.
Like if they played in Ivory Coast, would there be that big of a? I guess there would
Yes,
be because Ivory
it
Coast is
will
a
be a
pretty big nation,
big problem.
or isn't
Yeah, it
isn't a
will be
big
a big
nation?
problem.
It's a small. It's like Mexico and USA are both quite large. I don't know.
And
I
they're
do think
rivals.
it's, but like
It's just
It
I
would be a
think,
big problem.
but Mexico is like Mexico. There's a lot of overlap. The people. Like look, L.A. USA cannot play their home games in L.A. They have to play up in the north somewhere. It's
I
almost
mean, yeah. Well, I mean that's true, but like I don't
it's
know.
not like I hear what you're saying. I hear what
They
you're saying.
wouldn't play here if it wasn't for the money. I know that for a fact.
And maybe
I mean, they might play a couple,
infrastructure, maybe the comfortability for the players. I don't know. I don't
but
know.
there's good. I mean, you've seen the Monterrey Stadium. You know the
Yeah,
Chivas Stadium. They're
yeah.
all elite
Yeah,
stadiums. It's
Azteca.
not like they have trash stadiums in Mexico.
No, yeah.
They just don't. They just don't generate as much money as they do here.
And it also,
And
I
maybe
mean, I can speak
and
from
maybe
my
I'm.
perspective.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know I'm in the minority. It's not like, I
No, I
mean,
don't think so.
obviously, I think most people would agree
Mhm.
that the World
I
Cup means more to them.
I think from your perspective as someone who knows the Mexican culture more deeply than
Yeah,
I do is a more valid
you're
opinion.
more inclined to know.
From my perspective, it does make Mexico look worse though. Like the national team playing all their home games in Mexico would make Mexico look better because I get the feeling that the players okay, this is what I think of. The infrastructure in the USA is better than Mexico. That's what I think of.
Yeah,
And
I mean, obviously it
I
is,
don't know.
but
Obviously
I
it
don't think
is.
it's so much. I don't think. I mean, it's like comparing a 5-star hotel to a 3-star hotel. Obviously, the
And
5-star
Yeah,
hotel is better, but a
and the
3-star
players
hotel is not
should
bad.
but the players want a 5-star hotel.
But that just means there's no passion. Like, there's
No, I don't think
what is the
so.
point?
If the
What is
fans are there, you're gonna
there's
sell out. You're gonna sell
there's
out Texas Cowboys Stadium with all Mexico fans, right? I think that's fine if the players are more comfortable. Now, that's a big leap that I'm taking, saying that the players are the ones that want to play in that want to stay in 5-star hotels. They're getting a week, they're getting 2 weeks off from their clubs. They have to travel all the way across the Atlantic. I would rather sleep in a nice hotel with a jacuzzi and shit, and I don't know I don't know. I haven't stayed in a 5-star
the
hotel, but
modern player. The modern player. Be more
the
specific, because I don't think some of the older generation players would care about all that stuff.
Sure,
Some of
like
them would just
someone like
stick with
Santi
it.
Jimenez or like Chucky Lozano or Guadrado. I don't know. Guardado. I don't know. I don't know exactly who prefers what, and like just depending on
yeah.
where you're coming from. Like maybe if
Carlos
you're
Vela
playing in
definitely.
Mexico, you wouldn't mind. Like
Carlitos Velas would definitely rather stay in the U.S. than Mexico.
yeah. I
So
mean,
would you guys?
I just think that there's a little bit of wiggle room there, but
But
but it does
I
make Mexico as a country look worse in my mind that they
yeah,
don't play in Mexico. Yeah.
it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just a Mexican thing, and I know a lot of fans are a little what is it, jaded these last
Mhm.
few years, and maybe it has to do with Mexico being bad. I don't think that's 100% true because I don't know. It's just Mexico has had bad patches in the past. I don't think it's. I think people are, the younger generation is realizing just how corrupt it is, and they're kind of waking up to it.
Yeah.
They're realizing there's a lot of money in it, so they're trying to,
Yeah.
get something out of it as well.
Yeah. Anyone else
Yeah.
have any thoughts on
Oh,
this? I like this. I like this topic.
Mexico beat Chile that day, by the way.
Oh, nice. USA will
2-0.
beat Trinidad 3-0, by the way.
Oh, it ended up
Okay.
3-0. I stopped watching.
Gio
It was like in
Reyna
they must
and
have showed.
Anthony Robinson.
Oh, the Gio Reyna stuff is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hold on, I just want to catch up on chat here. Iran's talking some interesting stuff. UEFA is financially bigger than FIFA. World Cup generates 6 billion once every 4 years. UEFA is generating 6 billion a year just on UCL. They also have Euros. That's why there has been this UEFA versus FIFA thing going on for the last few years. This wasn't always the case, though. FIFA used to be the king. Banana says, so the prestige of UCL is bigger than the World Cup nowadays. If so, that's news to me. Prestige and heritage doesn't mean you generate money, Iran says, but that's what the question started off as. Which would people rather win? There's a lot, and then Iran says there's a lot of money involved in international friendlies. There are agencies that specialize in setting up friendlies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to add about this point, guys?
There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background, and again, the average viewer does not know any of this stuff. Like, but there's a lot of things that I'm sure your individual jobs that you guys have. There's a lot of things that happens in the background that nobody, the average person who is just walking around and sees this huge company label, is like, oh, those guys, they might do this. They don't know what's happening in the background. FIFA can be doing a whole bunch of stuff in the background nobody knows about. UEFA can be doing a whole bunch of stuff in the background nobody knows about. Only the FAs, because they're the ones who are more likely going to get that little bit of, grease in their pockets. And whatever happens, happens. They're just trying to set up all these games just to do whatever they need to do to progress their part of their federation. And it's fine. I mean, you got to do what you got to do nowadays to make it. But unfortunately, it hurts other aspects of the game. Is the game now, legit? And I know we can bring up, FFP, but, it's 115. We can make it 116. Let's go.
You like to bring that up, don't you? 115.
If I don't bring it up, you're gonna bring it up. So I have to do my job,
I'm not going to.
Oh,
I swear, I told you. I brought it up when they win titles only. When they win titles, that's when I bring it up.
So okay, only when we win titles.
Yeah.
Only
when you win things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, only when you win things.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You misspelled
the
Champions League, by the way.
What?
You misspelled Champions League, by the way. I just noticed.
Oh, I did.
That should say something about the Champions League.
League. I spelled league. Okay.
That should say something about the Champions
Oh,
League.
we're on City. We're on City. How does Greg feel about this? It was reported yesterday, right? You guys made 712 million British pounds, and it's the largest. It's the largest recorded revenue. It got pretty much generated by any club in world football.
Tactics.
I mean, I've looked into it. It seems like it's legit right now. It seems like it's legit because, again,
of course, it seems that way.
All I'm gonna say is we've won 3 titles. When United won their treble, how much money did they make?
All I gotta say is savewalterwhite.com.
Now, okay. Now consider you looking at what United did back then, transfer that and bring it into now. They will probably make even more than that. Probably. Yes or no? As a United fan, do you think after winning the treble, is United going to make more than that money? They might even make billions of it. Because more than likely, people are going to buy your players' jerseys. They're going to buy all these merchandise, all these little things, stocks. Here, this, then. There's going to be a lot of stuff that will happen in the background. So more than likely, yeah, I can see that money happening.
I'm just saying, if we make a Manchester City best 11 all time, you're gonna have one player pre-2010.
Is it true that it says non-UAE money of 12 million?
I
Is
didn't
that
know
true?
that. Did it say that? Did
Is
it
that
say
fake?
that? I don't know. I didn't see that part of it. What I saw part of it was the payroll. So they have like 550 employees, and they spent 442 million last year on just salaries. That was the only
They're
thing
making
added.
money.
That
I
was the
mean,
only thing added.
I've already told Card this. You just need to come down, to the blue side of Manchester. We'll pay you well.
Wait, so there were 31 matches at the Etihad Stadium last season. That's an increase of 4, helping annual matchday revenues go up from 17 million to 71.9 million.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
Further aided by a slight increase in average attendances. The additional home games of the knockout ties are enough to boost the annual attendance money by 20 million euros. That's on
they
top
charge
of
more for those?
Yeah, that's on top of the estimated 131 million euros of TV prize money. Then they won the Super Cup, which also brings in nearly 5 million euros in prize money. That puts it to 155 million euros. Oh, wait, I don't know what... Okay, this is just a comment. Sorry, this isn't official. But I think... I don't know. Sorry, that was just a comment.
But the interesting thing is a lot of it's brought in by sponsors, right? And if you go look at their let me land. If you look at their 7 sponsors, besides Puma, the rest of them are UAE based.
Yeah.
And the shareholders of the companies, said so companies, are all related to your owner in some form, either bloodline or through marriage in the family.
Cousins, nephews, aunties, uncles.
Hey, we got to keep the money in, right?
One of their sponsors is WeWork, 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 and they filed for bankruptcy recently as well.
Nice.
So you can throw that in the blender.
Yep. Mash it all up and drink it.
Give us the title.
Young.
Give us our titles.
That's not happening. People.
They'll never do it. They'll never do it because UK gets all their oil from the UAE, and they'll never let that go for some corruption in their football system. They'll never do it.
That's not
one
happening.
Of their
you
sponsors
can ask for it a million times. It's never happened.
One of their sponsors has a business address of an empty, state-of-the-art warehouse outside of London.
That's
apparently.
Crazy. We call that a front.
No.
We call that the discos in the back. That's what it is.
No one
That's what we call it in California.
I'm trying to find someone that believes it.
Believes who?
I think
this to the 115 reasons. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
The issue from it correlates to when everybody lost that year, especially in COVID, and they reported somewhere upwards of 100 million in profits still. Like that still lingers in people's heads. That's what drives the narrative in this. Is that, I mean, it was never proven.
Shit.
But what do you mean?
No, that's my sad thing. I literally had spent so fucking long looking for one shirt. It was annoying. I just found it.
What shirt are you looking for?
It's a fucking shirt for my job. It's one of those basically a dress shirt that you really need for your dress uniform.
What branch are you in, if you don't mind me asking, Model?
I'm in the Army.
Oh, wow. Okay. Respect to you. Thank you for your service.
Well, what's your MOS?
14 Tango.
Uh-oh, dude. Is this fraud honor? What's it called?
Stolen valor.
Stolen valor.
No. Wait, you said 14 Tango is what now?
They're saying that math ain't mathin'.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I just want to know what the job is. That's all.
Well, to put it in simple terms, I just basically do a lot of dumb stuff. That's the
Okay.
easiest way to put it.
Hey,
So
trust
our
me, I
launchers,
know
we
what you mean.
shoot down missiles. I just set them
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Whoa.
Like a him, Ross.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm asking again,
IMARS.
kind of.
So we shoot off like Pack 3, Pack 2 missiles type of deal. MSCs.
Yeah.
Yo, I seen that video of the Navy where that ship locks onto that airliner. Have you guys seen that?
No.
They're like on a Navy ship, right? And they have like anti-missiles software on it. And there's an airliner flying overhead, and those cannons just straight lock onto it right away. It's crazy.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Well, let's just
All
say
right.
I've never seen one of these missiles get fired.
Trust me, I know what you mean. I was supposed to be a welder and machinist, and I never actually did any welding or machining. So I know what you mean. I ended up becoming a janitor. So
I'm a part-time janitor. That's always on the job.
Alrighty, our next
That was
topic
the
for the
first thing.
evening. VAR audio, Howard Webb, and Arteta is fined.
Oh, here we go.
Or has
Here
been
we
charged.
go.
Mikel Arteta has been charged with a breach of FA Rule E3.1 following comments that he made in the media interviews after Arsenal's Premier League home game against Newcastle United Saturday, November 4th.
What rule did he break? What's the rule? Like,
I'll
what
look up
did
the
he say
rule.
that?
Hold on, I'll look up the rule. It's alleged that his comments constitute misconduct as they are insulting towards match officials and or detrimental to the game and or bring the game into disrepute. Mikel Arteta has until Tuesday, November 21st to provide a response to his charge. So that's what it was.
Damn.
The comments constitute misconduct as they are insulting towards match officials and or are detrimental to the game and then bring the game into disrepute.
The
So,
refs are too protected at this point. I think we protected refs. They gotta calm it down a little bit on how much they're protecting the refs. So we'll say a little bit.
so they went into the decision. Hold on, Bottle. I'm getting feedback from your end. Maybe you got to change your microphone settings or something.
Well, let me see if I can leave it and see.
Okay. All right. So basically, still hearing a little bit, but it's okay. It's better. Did you guys see the VAR audio with Howard Webb? NL, did you see this?
Yeah.
You saw the explanation. You saw how VAR went through it. Can we talk about
yeah,
what do you guys feel about what do you feel about the whole VAR process?
They just chatting shit. Like, let's keep it real. They just chatting rubbish. Like, that is what makes it so. Like the fact that this league is one of the richest and one of the most viewed league in the world, where we can literally afford technology that can basically, help with these situations, and they basically just don't want to use it. Like those eye tests, like they're trying to say, oh yeah, we're not use our eyes. The eye test is always the the perfect solution to this. I'm like, you're just causing more problems. I don't like Arsenal, right? That goal that Arteta was like, let's be real. That goal should never have stood. Like, that goal wasn't a goal. The amount of decisions that Arsenal should, there was some bad decisions that Arsenal got away with. Same with Newcastle. Like, it's just like they just like Villarreal was just trying to ruin. It's just, I'm being real. It just ruined the sport every time. It
Not
just
VAR, it's the officials. Can we stop
there's no wrong with it.
saying VAR?
You having these are what you call proper food sellers, bro. Like these guys are literally the proper ones. Like these guys are bums.
They carry the baskets.
Bro, they don't know. They don't like the fact that you can make a decision during this game. Then the next game you be like, no. This, like, just stick with one situation, right? Just stick with one. That's all I'm asking. If you're trying to say this, was onside. This wasn't a foul. Stick with it. Don't try and change your mind the next game. It's not only Arsenal that's getting this. I saw this this controversy that someone made on Twitter. Someone said that, if there's a club that that can challenge City or Newcastle, that can try, a club that can be a challenge to them to stop them from winning the league or winning trophies, right? They try, there's the refs that are trying to, try and make sure that doesn't happen. I go back and I told Monica about this. See, for example, how many terrible decisions that C literally committed a crime, and then literally VR saw the crime on 4K and said, "Nah, it wasn't a crime." So they just need to change. Like, I just want them to can they change the all officials in that VAR? Get rid of those scrubs and don't give me the proper ones, because I think if I'm as a manager, I'm frustrated too, because I'm like, yes, maybe we didn't deserve to win that game, but like the decisions that were going against us, I'm like, bro, we just need to play our football, and the ref just do his job. That's all we're asking. You do your job, I do my job. It's as simple.
Okay. Anyone else have thoughts on the VAR?
I don't understand how they can make such a joke of it. Like, there shouldn't be so much controversy around VAR as there is, but it just all comes down to human error, and they make it look so bad when realistically it's all their fault. And a lot of it is really preventable when you see all the mistakes that happen. And I don't know what's going to change exactly, but something's got
I
to.
just, to be honest, I think they need to get rid of this quote, clear and obvious. They need to get rid of it. Take it off and say, A is A, like Carter's been saying, B is B, black and white. If it's a foul, give it a foul. And say from there on, any contact of that specific type of situation is a foul. If it's not a foul, it's not a foul. That way the players know this is what we're doing. If we're trying to, put our hands on people, it's going to be a foul. If we're not putting our hands on people, it's not going to be a foul. Take your hands away. If the line has crossed, for that line crossing the line, the ball crossing the line, I don't think you can actually see that 100%. If that's going to be the thing, fine. If it's an offside, if the player is the last man or the goalie is the last man, and there's a pass that has been made towards the other player, if it's an offside, offside. Just call it as it is, and let's move on. If you're gonna try to say I can't see, I can't do this, I can't do that, if it's inconclusive, say I don't know. What's gonna be the next best thing? Are we saying we don't know, so we're just gonna give it as a goal, or we don't know, and we're just gonna say it's a foul? Safe option. I just need a clear answer. I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't.
We
I
don't
don't
know
want
ends
this
up going
in
with the
between.
on-field decision, the original on-field.
Yeah.
That's the we don't know.
Okay, so then it's gonna be the goal.
Yeah. And
so okay, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess more. Okay, I'll just go into what I thought of it real quick. They spent a lot of time figuring out they spent a lot of time figuring out whether the ball went out of bounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they spent. Yeah, and then so basically they spent. There was something before that as well. I think they were looking at. There's a lot of there was so many things that they couldn't give. Like if it was just the foul, they could have. I think they would have taken longer on just the foul. But since it was three things, they kind of went a little faster on each separate incident, compared to when it was. But I thought they did really well. And basically it was the foul, and then the other one was the offside, Gordon offside. I think the Gordon was definitely offside.
Yeah.
But they didn't have conclusive evidence of where the ball was from a different camera angle, right?
Right.
So they couldn't do that one. But the foul is the interesting one. Because the reasoning they gave was because his arms were on his back. But they said it wasn't enough to push off, and Gabriel made a meal of it, type of thing. Right? But I think they didn't look at that situation fully because where Joelinton lands is on top of Gabriel. And that's the foul. It's not so to me it's not the arms on the back. I don't know what Banana, what do you think?
They did you're right to a certain point. They went and decided to go, let's go look at they spent like 2 seconds really looking from how it sounded, right? They spent about 10 seconds looking at, is it a foul? And just went, no, okay, it's not clear enough, it's a foul. They spent more time looking at where the ball landed on him. They decided, it landed at his quads essentially, or his pelvis area. They decided to look at that more. Which even then, when you go look at where it landed on his body, you still see the full motion of how he pushes onto pretty much his neck by the end. The top of his back towards the neck. So yeah, in one way it's too convoluted, but I'll be real. I don't think anything they did about it was good at all. I think instead it is the most organized chaos I've ever seen. So one rule about it I can't stand. We got penalized for it, right? Going up to the referee and complaining. That's been totally demolished because I understand what they were trying to do from the start. We're trying to get the people away from the guy, from the referee, the down ref on the pitch. So you've forgotten that, so we can just crowd him now and honestly give him applied pressure, essentially. And on top of that, the refs on the field, from how it was sounding, there's no clear communication. There is none. There's no interjecting between the two. Hey, what did you... It should be that way. When you go watch the other leagues, now I don't hear the audio. I'm using my intuition, what I see. In the Serie A, in the Bundesliga specifically, they have the refs if it's that tight or if there's that many intrusions on the run of play before the goal. They go to the side monitor and they check it out and they kind of feed off each other. My issue with this whole idea is they don't really want you to go to the side of the pitch because, let's be real, there's pretty awful fans. And in that instance, I probably wouldn't want the head ref to go there and either be manipulated or, again, apply pressure by the fans or even worse than the players on the pitch. So keep it consistent. Either the people who are in front of you, if all of them are making a scene out of it while you're trying to do your job, card them. And if it was all of our players, which it pretty much was, do it. But the issue with me is there's no interjection there's no collaboration with it. And how are you supposed to say, hey, did this look inclusive to you? We're seeing it from this. How are you supposed to understand if it's a clear and obvious foul without talking to the guy too? How are you supposed to go, did you see this? Because they're just assuming what he sees and what he doesn't see now too. There's a whole different argument about the foul. It's clear as day, and it was too much. Second thing is the ball out of bounds? I guess on the field of play, when it goes to Rashford against Brighton, right? They called it on the field, right? No, just that should be your precedent. We called this one out earlier in the season. Call this one out as well, if not. You couldn't really tell with the Rashford one. So it's just too much, bro. Honestly, it's more chaos than whatever it was before. Because now you see a lot of head refs and you see a lot of linesmen questioning before they even do it because the guy's going to tell them, hey, it's offside either way. So there's just too much chaos and it's too organized for there not to be chaos because they have to follow this protocol and they can't answer these questions before getting to this one, which didn't even matter that much. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And I'll be real. Who knows to say that wasn't modified audio? I really am not sitting here and saying that was a clear-cut audio. Why does it take you a week after the fact to go on a show, as in Howard Webb, and go in front of somebody and then show it? Why can't you just release it afterwards? You have all the aptitude qualities to go out there and do it. So on that instance too, I already had really bad hopes before listening to it that it came out a week later. It had been
Sure,
chopped
the
and
refs are that
changed.
smart.
Yes, because they're not, like as I think Bottle said, they're not keeping them accountable. And on a bigger issue for me is the media is being paid off by Howard Webb to go appear on these things, to talk about things. That's a different topic, but it is
Obviously.
clear.
Obviously.
So I don't. And my bigger issue too is if Arsenal, the club, also said something, find them something. It was only to Mikel Arteta. It seemed very short-sighted. Now we don't know if they were or not. That's between the FA and them. But make it. We went public. The club went public about it. Go public as well that you're putting it down. For me personally, how it seems on the PRN, you're only really going at Arteta instead of the club as well. That was also a part of it. It's just it's too wishy-washy at this point. But I don't think you
Interesting.
bin VAR. You don't bin
Um,
VAR.
Anybody have any comments about that? Mordecai?
I mean, we all know what happened to Liverpool and how I feel about that.
Please.
Okay, about this
I'm
situation
just
though.
tired, man. I'm
Yeah.
just tired.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
every week we hear about it. And they say things are, I don't know. It just seems like it's getting worse. I feel
It's
like
getting.
last year wasn't this bad.
I think it's getting rigged. I think for some reason, right, my feeling is telling me that they're just trying. Like football football's not looking rigged a little bit. Like it's looking rigged now because, like I was saying, I'm like, it's like I get, you want to, make the fair decision, but like for example, I'm looking at United for example. Now I told more my Discord chat, probably Banana Soil, right? I was like, ever since that VAR, remember that our first game, right? Well, Nana literally declared that what was
Yep.
playing. I said, ever since that day, because remember, it was the media they were talking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks, talking about looking VAR, not making the right decision, giving United a fair decision, this, that. Ever since then, go look at all the VAR calls we've had. Go look at all the VAR calls we have. And this is not about United. This is about Liverpool, Arsenal. Like this, like for some reason, I don't know why VAR is against us, but I don't. But it needs to stop because ever since that,
It's City.
that
They're
Wolves
buying
game,
the
Sorry to
refs. They're
interject.
buying the federation.
no, ever
Sorry
since
to
that,
interject.
ever
Man,
since
no, real quick, because I thought you brought it up. I got a
yeah,
quick question for everybody. So the Holland penalty, which they were both going at it, him and Kukurea, and then you have later in the game in a big defining moment when they're already up 4-3, right, in City. You're telling me the Walker handball doesn't go through if it's any other club? I'm sorry. Like, if anybody has some more insight, if that's Greg, if that's Bottle, if that's you, Cart,
when
I don't
I
don't
just
understand that. I really
Banana,
don't, because
I said
Wait, say
football
that
is
one more
rigged.
time. The Walker handball. Say that one more time.
Yeah,
you
against Chelsea.
haven't seen the photo yet. I think I have the photo somewhere on my Discord.
Remember against
Uh,
Chelsea, right? Against
It
Chelsea.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't in that. Okay, so you mentioned the penalty and then you mentioned the handballs. So can you
Well,
say
because
again what the relation is?
well, no, because I'm saying they both were going at it. Kukurea and Holland, they were both
Yeah.
going at it, and I could understand it just being a byproduct. But if you're gonna call it, right? Let's call it, right?
Okay.
I remember us against Spurs in 21 at the end of the season. There was something really like that kind of bullshit where the guy went up in the air. Different topic, but let's keep it consistent. And then it went to VAR and was confirmed. VAR looked at this handball that was inside the penalty box and made Walker's silhouette much bigger than what it should have been. He went up to jump, almost like the Saliba thing, but even more like it just glanced his arm. And they looked at it and just let the play go. They didn't even stop play. They didn't even stop the play.
VAR,
Okay, I don't remember that one, but
hold on.
if
You
anyone has
probably
a
remember this.
clip.
There was a moment where Edison came and cleared the ball, right? And for some reason, him and Walker, they didn't understand each other. And he cleared the ball. He clears the ball, right? But he strokes.
Oh, I remember the
Kyle
handball now. It was outside the
Walker-
box.
Yes, that moment, right? I was. This is that moment. That's what they're talking about. This is why I said football is not looking. Is not becoming rigged because I'm like, bro, if that was United or Arsenal or different play, they're looking at VAR. They're looking at VAR. The fact that VAR did not like they didn't even say they didn't tell the ref, oh yeah, go check it out and try and see, and make the final decision by yourself. They didn't do none of that. They just let the play go. I'm like, yeah, football is becoming rigged. Any team, like I said, notice from now, any team that can be a problem to Manchester City, right? Any team, just watch the VAR decision that we get. Just watch it. That's what I'm telling you. Just watch it. I'm not saying Cia basically cheating themselves, but just watch what they get because it happens against Fulham, for example, right? You saw the VAR, you saw the audio call about the offside about the Scott McTominay goal, and I'm like, for the C also scored like a similar goal ball with the Akanji situation. You said,
Yeah, the
oh yeah,
Kanji one, yeah.
You said that is that's not offside, that's fair. But against United, you said that was offside.
This is what I'm willing to do. I understand. We could look at the past all day and be like this, that. I think the Liverpool situation was a massive point for VAR, right?
Yeah.
The Liverpool Spurs. I'm willing to forget everything before that. I honestly am. Like now I don't remember what was before and after that, to be honest, but I know what happened this last weekend was after that. You know,
Yeah.
like, and the Arsenal one was after that as well, right? And that's what we initially started talking about.
Mhm.
And the Arsenal one, the way, okay, with the VAR audio, I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, and I remember they said Gabriel makes a bigger deal, makes a meal out of it, right? Or something. They said something about
Yeah.
Gabriel's reaction, right? He's going down too
Yeah.
easy or something, right?
Yeah.
And I think that situation was, if that was the only call in that whole situation, they would have looked into that further, and it would have taken longer during the game. But they're trying to do things so quickly that I think they did the best they could have. You know, and you can hear the you know, the anxiety in their voice, like, or like the rushing, like
Panic.
the only other thing I could think of is how rugby does it, right? They have like a review, and they put a timer on the clock, and they show that the review's going on for so long, but they continue playing. Now, I don't know how that would work in football, especially if the score is a certain way, right? Like if you have a feeling it's going to be a penalty, yeah, they just keep playing, and then the VAR reviews it while they keep playing, you know? That type of thing. I don't know how that would, I mean, there would be situations where that would affect the game, like, yeah, if they knew that they would, or maybe if, like, I don't know, there would be some sort of not time wasting, but like, say, you know, it's towards the end of the game and there's a VAR. Maybe after 80th minute they have to stop the game for VAR review or something, you know.
See, and this
but
is where
like,
commercials are gonna come in.
no commercials, no commercials. I'm not saying commercials. I'm just saying there's like, I'm thinking, because the reason the VAR looked over the Gabriel Joelinton incident was because they had 4 other things to check, right? They had an out of bounds, they had a foul, they had an offside. I think I want to say they had something before, like, point of contact, right? Point of when the point of contact on the shot, right? They have to make sure they get that right. They have to check the on-field decision, the off-field. You know, they have to communicate to Michael Oliver on the field. Now, there's a lot of things going on, and there's like 3 or 4 voices in the VAR room. If they just allowed the play to resume, like, if it wasn't a clear and obvious, this is where it would be. Like, if it's not clear and obvious, like the foul on Gabriel, not clear and obvious that the on-field ref made the wrong call by not calling a foul. Then they let it go, and then they let it go to VAR, and then VAR quickly goes through it, and if they don't see a clear and obvious foul, they let it go. But if they allow them to have like a 5-minute period to review the entire situation, right, and take their time and really think about it, maybe that would be better. I don't know, because the issue is the game comes to a standstill, and then we have to wait for a long time. And who knows how the players would be, like, if they had to play 5 minutes while the VAR was reviewing, and then the decision didn't go their way, and those players would be pissed, you know, or something, you know, or I don't know. Do you think something like that would work? Like they allow the play to continue while they do the VAR check, or do you think goals are so massive in football that you can't do that?
No, I don't see them doing the whole pausing thing. I don't want them to pause the games, like having to stop it. I would prefer them just say, you know what, we're reviewing. This is going to be the timer for us to review. If you want to have your water break, this is it. So maybe water breaks might be a thing more when there's like VAR checks or whatever.
Hey,
But I
Culture,
don't
thank you
know.
for the sub, man. Appreciate it, bro.
It's gonna be a weird thing if they need more time to figure it out. What they need to do is go through the rules. That's what they need to do and make sure A is A, and let's make everybody aware that this is why we're making A. Just keeping it simple. No drinking over here. Keeping it simple.
How do you guys feel about challenge flags?
Yeah,
would
so
be good.
There's not a timeout. That what would be the best way? So like in American
like
sports,
say, like let's say for instance, what happened with Arsenal, right? And then Arteta throws the flag, and the referee is forced to watch it on the screen on VAR with no
Yeah, but
input from the with no or he watches it on the screen, sorry, with no input from the VAR. And then they say, Arteta's challenging the play,
The call.
saying that there is a foul on X
yeah.
or whatever. And then he just views it, he looks at it, he talks to Arteta, he goes back, he looks at it again, and then turns on his mic and says, no call because X.
what would they forfeit though, Mordecai? So they don't have timeouts, right? So would
Yeah.
it be a sub? They have to forfeit something if they lose it. Remember
Yeah.
that. They have to forfeit something. There's not much you can, and a sub isn't feasible because they want to keep fitness right. Let's go
No,
with.
they
it's
just
more
lose their challenge for another decision later in the game.
Yeah, they
Can
only
you
have
tell me if
two
they
or
win
one.
their challenge, they can have a second challenge?
I think so. If they win
If
it,
they're
yeah.
correct, yeah.
If
If
they're
they're
correct.
correct.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
the only
one shot.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it's just when it comes to all this, it's a bit hard to try and implement that because first they're not for this challenge thing. The ref, like they're not gonna really do that, of course, because the VAR refs they're gonna make the final decision on this kind of standpoint for the most part. Because when it's clear and obvious, it's kind of if what maybe what can you say is clear and obvious for a lot of stuff.
But they wouldn't be called into action unless the challenge flag is thrown. Maybe things like offside, right? Like, was it a goal or not? They don't have to throw challenge flags, right? Was the ball inbounds or out of bounds? Maybe serious foul play, they don't have to check. But other things like, subjective. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I guess there would have to be like a certain level of things.
I would love for
some players
to be challenged for them to start looking at second yellows.
What I think would be would happen is towards the ends of games, to disrupt the rhythm of the opposing team, you would just use a challenge, waste time, throw the rhythm of the game off.
You could do that with the sub now, anyways.
Yep, it would be an addition. You could do that and a sub. Now, you could. It's another time wasting tool. And to be honest, watching the Libertadores final the other day, you really like the dark arts are well and alive in South America. It is just it's booming. Business is booming down there for the dark lords.
They've done it no matter like even when there was no VAR, they did all that stuff. So it's not like.
But that's what I'm saying. You're just adding another thing to that. It's not in all areas of football. I'm just saying, now they can go down fake injuries. They can make long subs. They tried to, do that, and now you can challenge. It'll just be another thing adding to that.
Keepers can hold the ball for 2 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I like the idea. I'm just saying that's what. On the flip side, that's what might start happening.
It's funny how you mentioned the dark cards. I kind of put it's a little sidetrack, but Lodi, the Brazilian left back.
By the way, Arsenal already does their own version of timeouts. I noticed it last season, like around 25th minute, 20th minute, someone would go down with an injury. Arteta would gather the whole team around, kind of marking the first quarter of the match, and they would discuss tactics and stuff.
See, also do the same thing. Like once
Yeah.
like you see Edison, once the goalkeeper goes down and said, I'm injured or something like that, like I need treatment. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, people always bend the rules. They'll always
Remember,
bend the
we
rules.
are humans.
Always.
Logic doesn't work all the time with humans.
And it's always City the one that bends the rules.
Oh yeah,
City bends the
we're
rules.
good benders.
Yeah, the FA wants to. I think they want to really implement what Banana was talking about, giving yellow cards to players that come and approach the referee. Because a bit of that VAR review, I heard Michael Oliver saying, "Stop! Give me." He was talking to the players for a large portion of that VAR audio, right? He was talking to the players.
Yeah.
Give me space. I need to talk. They're trying to talk to me. There's a lot of incidents in this foul. We want to get the right call. He kept telling the players, right? If there was a little bit of maybe that would like if the players were more respectful, maybe that would infect the fans. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, the thing that annoys me the most is you say that, right? But if they don't do that, then the commentators are always like, well, nobody argued for the foul.
Yeah.
So it must not be a foul anyway. So
Yep.
the whole system is like, if you don't
need a captain to go up there. They don't need everybody to go up there.
Yeah, but if you don't do it, like if you play fair and say, we'll let the ref look at it, everyone's gonna say, well, they're not arguing for it, so it must not be a foul.
No, the commentators do say no one appealed for a foul. I mean, I think you can still appeal for a foul, but you can't approach the referee, that type of thing.
Yeah,
gotta be less egregious.
You can raise your hand,
hands, yell,
foul,
and then something like that. I don't think you should run into the ref's face and all that stuff.
The whole dashing at them and like screaming into their ears doesn't help them at all.
Yeah,
I used to help you diet all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, people will bend the rules. People will, push the limits, and that's what it is. Sir Alex pushed the limits. United pushed the limits.
I'm all for yellow cards at players. Like, I'm all for it. Give the players, all those yellow cards. If they show up and if you're not a captain and you're not supposed to talk to them, don't go up there. If they call you and they're talking to you, that's a different thing. But when you dash at them and you're like, me, pay attention to me, buddy, yellow card. Next time, don't do that again. Move on. Let me talk to your captain. All right, captain, talk to your man. He shouldn't be approaching me. You know this, right? Now your team is going to suffer for it. You realize that, right? Okay, cool. Go back, talk to your people. Okay, what did he say? Okay, he's appealing for this. All right, maybe VAR is looking at it. Hold on, give me a second. VAR said they're actually looking through it. They're doing their checks. Nope, everything is fine. We'll move on. But once they start crowding them, it affects their, mental reasoning. They're like, man, I want to just get out of this thing as fast as possible. I just want to do my job and go home.
But they need to eliminate, like I said earlier, I think the one-time card was like, how should we change refereeing or how do you see it in 50 years? If UEFA has all this money that we're saying they do, which I'm not denying they don't, you need to set it up to where UEFA sets up their own facility and then finds their own referees. To get rid of this idea of corruption and also cooperating between nationalities, which I think is a big issue right now with this, you need to set it up to where you pick out the best of the best from all these different leagues. Because Arteta was
careers.
Well, no, UEFA set up their own thing, so set up their own station for refs throughout all these different games. I'm sure you can do it, and have people away from the grounds or even more of different nationalities doing the VAR. You can keep the down ref on the pitch.
Might be difficult.
No, when you'd have to make sure they speak the same language. You can go with a certain language if you wanted to.
They all speak
English. It would be a process. I'm not expecting it to just be like, oh, in 5 years we're gonna have this. No, in the next decade we should have a facility for all these VAR officials, quote unquote, right? So I don't even know what the criteria is. It seems more of like, instead of VAR being for the older people who didn't want to move anymore, it seems like the first thing you do, or the first or second thing you do, linesman work, and you go up to the VAR as an assistant. Cut that shit out and just have one or two really experienced guys who go through all this qualification through UEFA and are employed by UEFA,
Solid.
not by a section of the English FA. Because until you want to get rid of this corruption, quote unquote, that everybody labels it as, get people of different nationalities so that these clubs, if they are doing it, can't pay out these refs that are located in the same nation where your business is ran.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be and it's gonna be
listen, I
easier
need
to
to pay my
prevent that if
refs.
they're from a different nation.
Yeah.
It'd just be easier if they're centralized somewhere
be
else
easier.
away from the country. It'd be much
Yeah.
easier, and also
It's
It'd
easier
be
than
much
them
easier to
being
pay
in
them.
Manchester.
huh?
No.
It'd probably be much easier to pay them.
Yeah.
Yes, and also too, they wouldn't be employed by the English FA anymore. Because at the end of the day, the whatever it is, they get their they get their money from England either way, and so it's less easier to lobby against these refs and lobby for these refs to put favors in or calls in your favor, and also eliminates any reasoning that people go, oh, it's corrupt. If it's the same consistency, which I think you would get from those. And also my other point, Arteta was right. You go see these other leagues. I'm gonna be real. Besides La Liga that I watch, a lot of the other ones are much cleaner. Bundesliga, Liga, Serie A, Liga Portugal, if the Eredivisie, those are just some that I watch. Pretty much the only other ones I watch. Besides those two, besides the two La Liga and the Premier League, a lot of the other ones run much smoother and much more efficiently.
More straightforward, yeah.
It's interesting.
But
The
what,
ones that have
I
the
think,
most eyes don't run as smooth.
well,
Yeah, but I mean, we've had a
everybody
problem.
has a higher standard on them. Remember this.
You can hear it in the VAR audio voice. These people know it's Chelsea versus Man City, you know? And I think and you won't find a ref in world football that doesn't know Chelsea Man City. Right? They know the scale, right? It's not Moreirense versus Moreirense versus Sporting Braga or something. I'm not trying to be disparaging, but I'm saying like the if they make a mistake and the pressure is so much different for that match than it is for Chelsea versus Man City, prime time, 3-4 game, possible 4-4. What's the decision? You know, like it's like it's different. But I and you know that's why I think Arteta is whatever. Arteta's Arteta. He's doing his thing. He's sticking up for his club. Fine, but like and to be honest, that's been Sir Alex's MO. That's Ten Hag's MO now. Is basically if we lose a game, or Jose, just blame the ref and move on with your life. You know, it's just like it's easy. Don't go too hard, right? Now you're getting fined or whatever. But like blame the ref, get the attention off your players, and then move on. Right? That's it. I think Arteta went a little heavy because. That's what we're talking about, right? Arteta, that's the source of this conversation. And I don't think it was such a clear-cut foul by Joe Linton. But yeah, I could see how he was upset about the foul, But and the other thing about
that it was 3 50-50s and they lost all three of them.
Maybe, yeah. But the other thing about Banana's point about moving the refs out of the non-English,
I was about to say that.
I think that you lose a bit of I think you lose the atmosphere, right? So there's a bit of that as well. But I don't know how important that is to everyone, but like traditionalists where there was no VAR, can you imagine like the ref being off the field in the comfort of a air conditioned, different, maybe he doesn't feel the rain, he doesn't feel it's just he's in a totally different element. Like that's basically what would have to happen is we'd have to kind of play football almost in a vacuum as far as officiating goes, which could be good, could be bad. I don't know, Greg. I don't know if you have something to add to that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. But also, who says those people still can't be corrupt? Who says?
Yeah,
like they can still be corrupt. Corruption happens whether you like it or yes. Like you can walk away and give somebody $1 million to build something for you, and then they'll pocket maybe 95% of it, and just say, "Hey, this is what you gave me, and this is what I was able to build for you." That doesn't mean that they can't still be corrupt. I know you're trying to be a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to find the right solution for it. But
proactive.
Again, humans And again, I've experienced a lot of negative stuff, but humans in general, and I'm not saying everybody here, but in general, are always finding a way to overcome something, and for the most part, to benefit themselves. For the most part, I don't think anybody here is probably doing that. Biases aside, nah, chill. Um, you, I don't see how the corruption thing is gonna end easily. The only way it's probably gonna end is, I don't know, a new generation of referees who are trained and like taken through a whole bunch of testing, like a serious level of testing, and saying, all right, this is what's gonna happen. The moment you see this contact, this is what it is. The rule is gonna say this. If you see it, that's what it is. Don't try to understand why this is this and this is what the player did. Like, Cart would say future shit. This is
I,
what the player did. He did it. Let's move on.
on the topic of
Don't try
future
to
shit.
understand why.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the topic of future shit, I am slowly changing my opinion. And we can go into that another time. First off, a question for everybody. Do you think there is corruption between the referee in the referee association? Let's go around the room. NL, you here? NL's not here. Okay, Mordecai.
I'm here.
All right, NL, do you think there's corruption in the referee association in the Premier League?
Yes.
Mordecai.
I think there's biases. Probably like.
Is there corruption?
No. There's biases,
Banana.
no corruption.
Banana?
I'm gonna go yes.
Bottle? Greg?
Yes. And at the same time, no. Because
no. You gotta say
okay,
yes
no
or
reason.
no.
Okay.
No, yes or
Okay.
no first. You can't say both. If it's yes, then it's yes.
It's yes.
Okay.
But
I don't
again,
think
at the
there. I'm
same
gonna go
time, I
with a
still
no.
see it as no.
No. You have to say yes or no. If you think yes sometimes, then the answer is yes.
Okay, you're right.
Right? Because if it's at all, it's like a big pool. If is it clear water? If I drop some food coloring in, nope. Even if it's just a little, it's not clear water anymore.
Well, you can have, a ton of good apples and one bad
talk
apple.
about it. We can talk about it now. I mean, I was just trying to get everyone's first, like, where everyone stands before we go into it. Banana, do you think there's corruption, yes or no?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Banana. I keep getting Bottle and Banana. Bottle?
Well, is someone paying the vice president of the referee association $8.2 million? Here we go. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I would definitely believe there's some sort of corruption going on in the background. We're not paying people randomly out our ass.
I said earlier, nobody knows what's really happening in the background of any club. Nobody really knows.
Okay, so did you want more specific? I'm talking like this ref goes into this match and is told to do this because they're getting paid money. Basically, is that the corruption we're talking about, or are you talking about like systematic corruption?
I was talking about the Negro case.
The Negro case. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I can definitely see there being some corruption in football.
I guess from the La Liga perspective, it's a little different now. I guess with the Negreira case, but we don't have a Negreira case in Britain in Premier League.
Hey, you never know. Todd Bowley giving some calls out. You never know.
Yeah, we never know. That's what I think. I think that's. I should have specified. That's more of my question.
But not Todd Bowley. I mean the Bremen.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone want to elaborate on their yes or no answer? I know I just asked for a yes or no answer. You don't have to. We can move on to something else. But
I think we've all known that the refs are biased against biased for the top six.
No, I think.
Well, I mean, it's always been a joke. Like, oh, the big clubs always get the call.
Yeah, that's a bias. I wouldn't say corruption.
That's what
What
I'm
I mean
saying.
by
Like,
corrupt,
that's how I mean. Like, bias is. Like, I don't
but
mean
in
I'm
there's
talking.
corruption.
Okay.
I don't mean
no,
there's corruption. I think there's more like some refs are more biased to take a decision. Like a ref is biased not to give a red card in the first minute of the game.
yeah.
He's biased to give a decision late in the game.
Wants the game to flow. That's what they always say. Let the game flow.
But it's been documented already. So on a broader scale, when he means money, cart-wise, the English government has favored these state-owned clubs already, mainly because of what they bring towards them in these international deals. And on a broader scale, I think it gets translated to the PGMOL, the FA. I truly believe the state-owned clubs that we only have 2 right now. I think they're favored because one way or another, they were not agreed by the refs from the start or from the owners from the start. It took multiple voting, starting with Man City and then going to the Saudis with Newcastle. The first time around with the owners, it was not agreed upon. And magically one day they got majority, both sides did. On Man City's case, the 3rd time, Newcastle's the 2nd time to allow them to finally be in. And truth be told, they're getting, as of right now, those 2 are getting some of the nicer calls as we see it. And yeah, I think it has something to do with it. Abramovich did it a couple of times. It's already been reported. Bully self-reported. I think the government, along with the English FA, will take the highest bidder, and that's where the biases come from. It's not directly brown envelope between games. I think it's more lucrative deals that benefit the nations of these entrepreneurs that are coming from these less fortunate places and wanting to build a better portfolio and more diverse economies. So that's where I feel the money comes into it. I don't think it's brown envelope though.
Lobbying.
Yes.
So do
but
you
that has
feel
to deal
that
with money.
do you think that gets to the refs?
Yeah, because the FA. Yeah, the FA
When
is
they
what
do
rules
well,
now.
the pockets also do well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I mean corruption-wise. That's why I was kind of hesitating for a little bit. How do I explain this better? That's exactly how I explain it more. It's just the lobbying between the nations and these entrepreneurs from these countries. Yeah, it affects them. And the only single source they get into these nations or these countries' economies is by buying these clubs.
Oh. Okay. Anyone else
And
have
you
anything
gotta
else
look at
to
it.
add?
I was
NL,
saying, looking at
be
it,
on standby. All right, go ahead, Noel.
no, it's always this big thing. Like, who knows? Maybe the referee for the Arsenal Barca game, maybe he was corrupted. Maybe he did get paid off to give that red card.
Yep.
It's always the end of the day. We'll never know this stuff until someone just years later comes down the line and just admits it. But for now, all we can say is referees just make dumb decisions, and that's really the end of it. There's not much more. Referees can be dumb, or they can be very smart.
Okay.
I do have a question about that though. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean it's always true too. Just because somebody said, "Hey, I know for a fact that this happened years ago," doesn't mean that's how it actually played out.
I mean, if the person like comes out and says like, "Yeah, I got paid" or something. I'm not talking about like if someone else says, "Yeah, I saw this guy get paid," or "I know he was doing this," or like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit like, he says, she said.
Yeah, that's one aspect. But again, just because that person who's saying that I got paid out, if they're willing to give, evidence, reports that shows all this is true. I got all this stuff, and you're seeing like everything physically right there, tangible evidence. Then sure, go for it. Like burn everything down. But if
I don't
you don't
know.
have it and you're just saying stuff,
Says he got
words alone
paid
doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Okay.
from the person themselves.
Again, it can be the person who was told or apparently given all this stuff. It can be said that way, but doesn't mean that's actually true. People can say things. People can say a whole bunch of things. It doesn't mean it's actually true.
You can, of course, but it's if the ref themselves comes out years later, like Anthony Taylor, he comes out and says, "All these years I was paid to give Chelsea shit decisions," or some shit like that. Just for example, I was like, Why would he come out and say that? Just out of randomness, popularity? Like that's just gonna come back to bite him in the ass if he says that. There's no reason for anyone to purposely come out and say that.
Again, I understand that. I understand that, but again, just because you just said it doesn't mean it's true. You could be also paid to go and say that stuff.
All right, Banana, do you have a breaking news soundbite?
Let me see, my boy. Probably not. No, I'll give you this though.
Erling Haaland has been injured. He has sustained an injury to the same ankle he's been having problems with.
Don't believe this.
He says they have to check on it tomorrow. He's a doubt for Liverpool's Premier League the clash with Liverpool early next Saturday.
It's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
All of a sudden, all of the City players are sick, quote unquote sick, quote
Oh my
unquote.
goodness.
We have knocks, quote unquote. I'm sorry, we
More
can't play for our
corruption.
national teams. Nah, I don't believe a
More
word of it.
corruption.
Where
We'll
you
see
finding this?
on Saturday. They're all gonna be fit. Ederson's gonna be in goal. Diaz is gonna be there. It's all gonna be. Everybody's gonna be fine.
All right.
More
Erling Haaland
corruption,
will
huh?
start.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna be hurt.
We'll have a show before that game. Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll have that for our match of the week tomorrow next week.
Also,
All
Do
right.
you think it's
happy birthday to Paul Scholes.
Hold on. NL, are you here? NL, come back, get ready. It's about time almost. But hold on. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Buttle.
I was going to say happy birthday to Paul Scholes.
Oh, happy birthday. I posted something in Discord earlier. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was Pep Guardiola and Thierry Henry both saying how much they loved Paul Scholes.
The greatest English midfielder of all time.
Greatest English midfielder. One of the best
Toe?
Premier League players of all time.
Mr. Toe?
Maybe the best.
His legacy.
Maybe the best.
Maybe.
Anyways, maybe. I mean, he's better than Stevie G and Frank Lampard. He's clear of those.
That's
two.
facts.
Not according
That's
to him.
facts.
So.
Of course he's not
facts.
gonna. Of course he's gonna say that. He's not like he doesn't have the ego of like a
Exactly.
Zlatan.
He's
No.
the guy's a humble
Interesting
guy.
you would say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Interesting Cart would say that because I posted a video about Pep saying, "Oh no, me, I am not the best manager." What would you say about that?
It's
Cart?
true.
He knows the numbers don't lie. He knows the numbers don't lie.
Uh-huh.
Pep is true. You can
He
tell
knows.
about Pep is true.
All right, let's get into our final topic, guys, featuring NL BMF. Manchester United fire CEO Richard Arnold. This seems like the first sporting decision by the new owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who will have a 25% stake in the club and is going to be in charge of sporting movements by the club. What do you think, NL?
This is the start to a new thing. I think we need a change. You can't have, like you said, this guy is Richard Arnold. John, they've been here, for the past 10 years or more than 10 years, but they've been majority involved in the past 10 years of our downfall now, of how bad United have been run. So I think this is a change. I don't think they fired him. I think he left because he knew that he was getting fired.
16 years. Yeah, he had 16 years.
Yeah, he knew he was getting fired. I think Ime and John, they were hoping Qatar comes in because remember what the news came out that Qatar were about to give everybody a clean slate. Nobody was going to lose their job. They were clean slate, and Sir Jim was like, "Nah, you two, John Moto, Richard Arnold. Immediately I come to that club, you guys are uniquely done. Like you're not making it. Just you fired." So they said John Moto is next. So this and the guy that's replacing him is Blanc, Jean-Claude Blanc. I think that's how you say his name.
Jean-Claude Blanc.
Jean-Claude Blanc, right? The guy You said what?
Jean
Jean
Claude
Claude.
Blanc.
Jean Claude Blanc.
Yeah.
No,
So
Blanc.
I
yeah,
don't know. I'm just. I don't know.
so
Sorry,
Blanc,
go.
right? This guy, right? The guy that is replacing him. His CV speaks for himself. You know, he managed Juventus. He's been the CEO at Juventus. He's been CEO at Bayern. And you look at his, mostly you look at his Juventus side of things of his past history with CV because he was there when Juventus were, they were in the, in the mud. They were, they got relegated, stuff like that. And he was the guy that, was part of the guy that helped them brought them back up, and they kicked on the run. They kept them on the run, and they won the on winning stuff and charging for trophies. So I'm happy with that. Also, the sporting director, I'm glad that he's not. We're not just looking say, what, Paul Mitchell, you the right guy. I'm glad I'm hearing different names. I'm hearing the guy from Atletico Madrid. I'm hearing the guy from Crystal Palace, the guy from Atlanta. So I'm hearing different names, and I like that because it shows that Ineos and his Sir James team are doing their job and saying, no, we want to employ and approve the right guy to help United. United get back to where they need to get back. I think most probably our rivals look at it and like most probably some of our rivals look at it and say that this means nothing. But if you've been a United fan, you know why this is so important to us. Like we've been crying for change, and yes, Ineos and Sir Jim runs the sporting side now. Just all I want is them to just the one thing I want them to confirm is that okay, we back in Ten Hag. Like Ten Hag, you're gonna be our guy. And if they're doing that, and that makes me so much more, happy with this deal.
Okay, Bottle. Do you have any thoughts on what's happening at United?
Well, I find it kind of funny, and I kind of like the downfall of Fifth.
Okay.
And I can't wait to see Tanal get sacked and I'll get proved wrong. Rashford leave, and yeah, it's the downfall.
Okay.
It's gonna be nice to watch.
So you just basically hating on my team. Okay.
I
So,
have one
Mordecai,
question.
yeah.
One question for you guys. Does this mean no more blaming the Glazers?
no more like this.
That's the Glazers are over. You can't bring the
see,
Glazers up.
Well, they're still there.
Mordecai,
75% still there.
Okay.
Mordecai. See, with me, right? See, the Glazers are no. The reason why the Glazers is on the Glazers side is because I'm like, if the Glazers had, done what they need to do and not have a banker, like I keep telling people this, we had a guy that worked in a bank literally run the football club. Like that literally tells you everything. The guy was making the decisions to go get players, do this and that. Like if the Glazers had gone the right point structure and was still failing, I can't put that on them. That's on, they've done what they need to do. But with Sir Jim now, if he brings in his guys, Paul Mitchell, Blanc, brings in his own recruitment team, everything, and United still failing. That's on United. That can't be on the Glazers. That can't be, they can't. He has to be on United at that point because I'm like, this. Like I was telling someone this. This is literally our last chance. If we fail on this new regime and stuff like that, we basically cuss. Like just destroy the club. Like United are basically definitely cursed. Then like this is a curse going on because we can't feel now. Like I'm sorry, we can't. Right sports structure, right CEO. You can even say right. You can say right manager for for now. Like who else? Go get the right players in. Like this should work. So yeah, I can't blame the Glazers after this. Like even when we're losing through this, I said this. Most people are saying Glazers. I'm like, this is not the Glazers. Like Glazers are not the reason why Anthony can't make a pass. Rashford is out of form.
Okay. Banana.
What do you think,
No,
I'm gonna go around the block first.
Okay.
Banana, any thoughts on what's going on with United on the ownership level?
You better hope you get Paul Mitchell in. He does some work because Jean-Claude Blanc was one of the worst CEOs I ever saw at PSG. did not know how to run the budget. Maybe he's reformed a little bit. He took a little bit of time off, but you better hope on him because Blanc is too wishy-washy. He's not going to get you the commercial revenue you want. NL, Cart and I already kind of discussed this a little bit, but your commercial revenue is all you guys want, really. It's what your owners want. You're going to need a lot of lenders. Let's go with. You're going to need a lot of lenders.
Malachi, this is the thing about Banana. This is another thing about Sir Jim is that for one thing, if you look at Nice, right, what he's done in this man is literally.
I'm not denying that. You know, I've been giving praise for that for a long minute. That was
literally not afraid to sack. He's not afraid to sack anybody. Like they've gone with sports directors, CEOs, and Nice for a long time. I
Blanc himself. If you let me keep going, I worry that you're never gonna have now the financial backing you're gonna want, and he's the one who's gonna be writing off on everything. And
so that's what I think. The people that are gonna be writing off. So I think this is gonna happen. There's a committee, right? There are 3 people in this committee. There's Sir Jim, Sir Dave, and Joe Glazers.
And Dave's the other lender, right? I was hearing about you guys are bringing somebody as a lender. Is that who's whatever his name is?
Yeah, Sir Dave is going. That's literally Sir Jim's that's the guy that represents Sir Jim for the club.
Yeah.
Like
it's not landline.
He's not gonna be the club every day, but he's gonna be the guy that gives his feedback, tells him what. So because they say they literally just said that Sir Dave has been in character for the couple since last week or so. Came twice and checked out things and stuff like that. So what I think is what's gonna happen, right? Blanc is there to act like a CEO in terms of like, you now want to make sign plays. Don't go and spend 100 million like when you spend Anthony. Don't go and spend 70 million on Casemiro, stuff like that. That's the type of deals. I think so. Blanc is there to make sure that those type of things don't happen again.
But his issue was hold on. He hasn't worked yet with a budget like this. So at Juve, he was supposed to bring their costs down from what I've been reading. He was there to bring their costs down. He did very well.
He
did well. But when he got an inflated budget at PSG, he was kind of overwhelmed a lot of the time. And that's where they made a lot of brash decisions with Neymar.
The difference with PSG.
One of the biggest ones, just let me finish real quick. He did not handle Verratti well at all. So he led Verratti on a lot. It's more of when you get down to the structure of the team, he's not the best guy to mediate. And so you need a CEO to mediate a lot of those financial decisions.
I like that. Yes, it's a C. You just brought that, at PSG, we got this unlimited budget. He didn't do very well at PSG. Even though I think, he did what he had to do, got into sponsorship.
But also, too, my biggest issue is he's never had the worry of generating revenue. So a lot of the times with your CEOs, you've had to generate revenue with the CEO because still you have to remember your majority owner only gives a damn about the money you generate and is only going to put that much money back in. So that's the worry for me.
Banana, I told you about this. There's a difference. Like United, right? Winning that's money already. That you literally make. If you're not winning, right, you're making money.
Now, on the money front, we're set up. I think we're one of the, business wise. Like I said, we were run by business people.
Right?
We were run by business people. I think we're set up to make a lot to money in the future. I don't think we're yet.
But I worry about him keeping it. That's the only thing. Is he going to plateau? Is he going to drop? I just worry about that. I just worry is this too.
Richard Arnold, right? When it was
I'm not worried about money coming in.
Blanc, right? See, this is the thing about the CEO. Like even when Richard Arnold was CEO, he wasn't. I don't think it was the guy that was doing this. Commercial business. No, man was just worried about the day-to-day football activities and the because people forget we actually have a financial team, so those guys in charge of the commercial wherever the commercial stuff. Things with Blanc, right? The thing about Blanc is that one thing that made people like some United fans turn on Richard Arnold was that the Greenwood situation, right?
Yeah,
so
that was handled.
I read about most going to it, right? Most people said the reason why they dislike Richard Arnold was that not that he wasn't. They said he did an okay job, but one thing they turned on was that he was trying to bring Greenwood back to the club, and they're like, nah. Some United fans like, no, that's you crossed the line with that. That's what they dislike him. So with Blanc, right? I'm expecting in situations if we have to have another situation like that, I expect as an experienced CEO to handle the situation better. Also, the
Yeah.
footballing stuff, like for example, right? Some of the players we signed, some of the players we give contract to. Blanc will be, we ready to say, you know what, and I agree with that. I think that should be what we need to do. And the reason why I say that is because Ineos, right? They've had this guy, they've been telling, like Ineos says, they've been planning about this. Like this is not something Ineos just, once they got the club and they went, no, they've been planning this for like last year because they were reports about it, like they were getting that guys. Paul Mitchell was one of that guys. That's why I think Paul Mitchell left Monaco. I think his contract didn't expire. It was that they agreed a Mitchell fee, and he left he left by himself. So he came back to England. So this has been they've been planning about this. So Ineos is probably discussing about this and what their plan is and what they need to do. So Blanc, I'm not worried about. I'm not worried
Both of you,
about him.
Manchester United boys.
I'm
What were
saying
your thoughts on Ed Woodward? Because what I mean is Blanc is the exact opposite of Woodward. So where Woodward would put you guys financially forward a lot of the time, Blanc's not that guy. Blanc is going to stabilize, and that's about it. If you expect him to do well with
my football, like I was saying to someone the other day, Manchester United Football Club is literally drama. Like there's goals. Look at this season, for example, right? There is no
You is drama.
Car said, nah, that ain't it, y'all. That ain't it.
You wake up every
Man, what's up, my boy? What's good,
day, right? You see drama for football. If the drama is not about us winning on the pitch, the Glazers, the center situation, the
terrible ownership group, by the way. Terrible ownership group.
Exactly.
Glazers is. They're terrible.
Drama is always happening to the football club. So I just need, and one thing about once a football club starts to have drama, right, left, right, and center, right, the environment becomes toxic, and you don't want that. That's what's been going on at United for the past 10 years. The environment is not stable. So once you have a good sponsorship that can make the club stable, and the players, the environment becomes positive, and everybody starts to perform. Everybody starts to enjoy the time together, in the training ground, the training facilities, playing together, stuff like that. That's what like. I look at City, for example, like there's literally like that club literally has no drama. Like there's zero drama, in that club. The last
I don't know about that. I think every club has drama. Some of it is just more seen, and some of it is more heard than whatever. But every club is just not walking around scot-free without stuff, yo. There's always something going on at different clubs and stuff. There's always something going on, whether you hear about it or you don't. There's always a club out there that's dealing with some type of issue or something that's going on behind closed doors.
I agree.
I got a quick question.
Issue, but
I got a quick question. Do you know who your sporting director is? Who is your sporting director exactly? Is there anybody in place? Is there anybody going to be put in place?
We don't have one right now.
That's the worry, and I don't see a plan where you guys are going to put one in place. It looks like it's Paul Mitchell.
But that's going to be Paul Mitchell's going to be
the
sponsor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All right, that's fair enough.
I think what needs to happen though, because like y'all on the issue about ownership and stuff, I think what needs to happen, like in the world of football or soccer, whatever you call it, wherever you're from, I think what needs to happen is that you need to have an owner that's totally 100% invested in the club and everything, and at least has some knowledge of the game of soccer. You know what I'm saying? Like it just can't be anybody that's part-time and somebody that wants to be half-assed with the job. Forget my language. It can't be anybody that's half-assed with the plans. It's got to be somebody that's invested all in 100%, that's going to be there through the ups and downs and stuff and everything. And I think that's why all that drama was going on with the Glazers and stuff and everything at Manchester United. I'm not a fan of United now by no means, but I'm saying like everybody noticed what was going on with them back here a few seasons ago. Remember when they was in the streets? Remember everybody's walking in the streets and shit, protesting and everything?
Yep.
You remember that happened and stuff and everything? And I said to myself, like, that wouldn't have happened if the Glazers were 100% invested in the team. Like if they showed up to the games, whether it be a big game or a small game, whether it be a Champions League or Europa League or Conference League game, if they show up to these games and show mutual support for the team, then I think that would curtail some of all this bad management stuff that's going on in the upper tiers of like management and everything. I think you got to have ownership that's at the games, that's there watching the team and stuff, so the fans can look on the jumbo screen and see their owners sitting there caring about the team stuff. I think that has to happen. I think that's something that needs to happen.
And I
And then-
agree. You just hit the
By the
nail
way,
on the
this Blanc guy wasn't he? I think NL and Banana, you guys said he was on Bayern and he wasn't on Bayern or PSG. He was
No, I
just at
said Juventus and
No, he was at PSG for a little bit. He wasn't a
No.
CEO, but he was.
Juve. I
Mhm.
said Juventus.
No, you're thinking of Laurent Blanc.
Oh, I am. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
they're not the same
the only
block.
thing he only did, he was the CEO of Juventus after their after their scandal, and then
Mhm.
he's done like the Tour de France, French Open, the Davis Cup, the Olympics. He's helped.
He
manage
started in
those.
tennis, right? He started
Yeah,
in
yeah.
tennis, right? Yeah. Okay. Different guy then. My fault.
No, he started in Olympics. He started in the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was a chief executive officer from Juventus from 06.
Damn.
Oh,
06,
marketing executive at PSG. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you're right, Banana. Yeah. But nothing about Bayern.
I don't think we mentioned Bayern. My fault. My fault that came off like that.
Oh no, you're good. You're
Bro,
good.
it's one
Man.
But
trophy.
is Jim going to be that guy for you guys? Because even at Nice, he's not really hands on. I mean, he's got a crew, but do you think he'll be hands on this way? And like as
I
Don
don't
said,
think
do you
so.
think he'll show up at matches?
I
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
he'll
you
show
don't
up
have
at
to be there.
matches.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
think
you
he'll
don't
show
have
up
to
at
be there. Yeah.
matches.
You think he will?
That's a fact. That is a fact, man. Because people
You
pay
don't have
attention to
to
that
see-
type of stuff.
I disagree, right? My owners don't have to
You
show
don't
up.
think he'll
See,
be at
I
a
get
match?
that. Who, Sir Jim?
Yeah, you don't think he'll be at the matches?
No, it will be because he lives in England, so he definitely will be like. So I think what Don was trying to say, owners that care, like I understand, but I look at
Yeah.
CEO example, like CEO owner, like CEO's owner, right, has only gone and watched them twice, twice.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, the Champions League final and was a league game. That's the only time he showed up at to watch a Sea Girls like that. So it's
Was
not
that when
about.
the father was still alive?
You said what?
Was that when the father was still alive? Because I remember their father was much more involved.
No, I'm talking about what's his name? Wait, let me look up his name. Because I never. It's not. I don't think it's the father owns the. I don't
Hold on
think
one
the
second.
father-
Hold on one
dude.
second. Quick. Okay, we're not gonna end, but closing thoughts on United.
Oh, closing thoughts. I think
We'll continue. I'm just gonna end the YouTube.
I think we are so back. I'm excited.
I think it's
About
good.
the.
No,
Yeah.
about what we're talking. This new CEO.
Yeah, I think the CEO is gonna change a lot of things. I think once United click right, with the new CEO, right recruitment team, right players, we actually gonna be dangerous. Like I can feel we actually gonna be sick to watch because we've been on this we terrible run, but we still getting the, we're clinching for a top 4, top 5, top 6 finish, for the past 10 years. Now
Right.
that you're not gonna get a spoil structure, yeah, it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be dangerous for our rivals. That's what I would say.
Any final thoughts for YouTube, guys? Mord, Greg, Don, Banana.
I
Well,
just
like
hope-
I got
Go for
I
it.
just had like one with I think City started like the whole having good ownership thing when the Abu Dhabi United group came in and started buying these players and stuff and everything. But I think if United do get I think since y'all do got a new CEO coming in, bro. I think the fact that we all need to face is that y'all players have got to want to play too. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get like the best owners, the best front offices, but if your guys aren't willing to go out there and play and give it 100% every game, then you're not gonna see result because it don't matter, bro. That's like eating. That's like working out. That's like working out 2 days out of the week and eating cheeseburgers the rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna
Gotcha.
work. You got to be committed to it. You know what I'm saying? So
Look in the live chat. I posted
that's all I'm
something
saying.
about
Alright.
quote.
That's all I'm saying.
Mordecai, any final Final for YouTube.
Yeah.
And thank y'all for supporting Cart too, everybody on YouTube. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for supporting him.
I just hope that United fans stop blaming the Glazers from now on
Okay.
and
Okay.
face the facts that now you have no excuses.
We got a couple excuses. We had a rebuilding period. But anyways, Banana, any last words for YouTube?
Nah. Subscribe.
Greg?
Subscribe.
We haven't even got to Greg on this topic, by the way.
Oh, hey.
I was
you
waiting to
know I'm
get
your
to you.
number
I
one
wanted to
rival, so
All right, we'll continue this on Twitch then. Good night, YouTube.
Yeah. Make sure y'all follow him.